and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
Toyota's national sales event is happening now with savings and reliability you can count on. So check out an adventure-ready gas model RAV4 with up to $750 cash back, or a stylish 22 Corolla with up to $500 cash back, or go with a sporty Camry with up to $1,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com and find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply to a down payment. Offers may vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end September 7th. Toyota, let's go places.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon, a hot one, a high near 91, overnight low of 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. The clouds we do have around for your Wednesday break for plenty of sunshine, with temperatures near 93 for the daytime high. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
People moving out, people moving in. Why? Because of the color of their skin. Run, 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 but you sure can't hide. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Vote for me and I'll set you free. Rap on, brother, rap on. Well, the only person talking about love, now, brother, is the preacher. And it seems nobody's interested in learning but the teacher. Segregation, determination, demonstration, integration, aggravation, humiliation, obligation to our nation. Oh, yeah. That's what the world is today. The sale of pills are at an all-time high. Young folks walking around with their heads in the sky. Cities aflame in the summertime. No, the beat goes on. Evolution, revolution, got control the sound of soul. Shooting rockets to the moon, kids growing up too soon. Politicians say more taxes will solve everything. And the band played on.
Most taxes will solve everything. Maybe the Temptations knew what they were talking about 50 years ago when they recorded that. I love hearing that. I changed some of the words to what's happening today, and there's not much difference between 1969 and 2021. Today is Tuesday, August 24th. Only a few days left of this month. Then September rolling around. And when I think of September, I think of a lot of sporting events. Baseball will still be played for a while. Of course, the season will end for the Pirates sooner than most other teams. By the way, speaking of the Pirates, they won last night. I mean, they didn't beat a good team, but it was a team that had a 5-2 lead. And, Arizona, I'm not saying they found a way to lose, but give the Pirates credit. They came back to tie it and then won it 6-5. So the Bucco bullpen looked pretty good. Yeah, everybody that came out of the bullpen played very well. And after dropping 13 of its previous 14 games, the Pirates have now won 3 of their last 4. Okay? I don't think they've yet to win a series. Maybe they can do it against Arizona. All they got to do is win one more game. Win tonight, okay? And you take 2 out of 3. That's a series, right? Yeah. This guy's got to be one of the unluckiest guys around. When he pitches well, the Pirates never give him any offense. He's 4-13. He's pitching tonight, J.T. Brubaker. He'll start for the Pirates against the worst team in the National League. Can you imagine being an Arizona D-back season ticket holder? I wonder what their TV ratings are like. I'm not going to check it out because I don't care. I just brought it up. But Brubaker is 0-9 in 12 starts since his last game that he won way back, May 29th. Yeah, he's due to have a good game. My prediction, for what it's worth, I think he's going to have a great game tonight and still lose. I watched a little bit of preseason football last night, and I got bored. So I watched the lost episodes of Perry Mason. How about that segue? It was a preseason game. I know I wouldn't see a lot of starters, but I wanted to see that number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence. He was okay. He was on his butt a couple of times. Saints beat Jacksonville 23-21. A little bit of a quarterback controversy there with Mr. Hill. And, I don't know. I was watching some of the reporters from New Orleans talking about, there's going to be a battle for number 1. And who's ever going to be number 1 probably be the backup. He's not going to be happy because, and whatever. But a lot of teams have problems because there's some good quarterbacks out there all on one team. So, and the Steelers, they have a quarterback controversy, a backup quarterback controversy. And they're 3-0. They close out their preseason schedule when they visit the Carolina Panthers Friday. I think I'll miss that game. I have to miss that game. It's fireworks night at the Wild Things. Am I looking forward to this schedule for the Wild Things in the next 11 days when they play 9 home games? Not really. But they pay me good bucks because I got a big mouth. So, the weather's going to be real nice, maybe a little bit hot at the ballpark, but that's why they have a lot of cold beverages for you, okay? Wiener Wednesday, Thirsty Thursdays, you can save a lot of money Wednesday on hot dogs. I think they're only $1. And Stoney's beer on Thursday. Sean Casey will be there for the Miracle League of South Hills. And I think he's going to bring like 120 people with him. And we're not guaranteed a sellout, but a lot of people will be standing in line a couple hours before the game to get their free Sean Casey bobblehead. It's amazing. You say free and people go nuts. I just like the word free for food, okay? One Steeler note, I got to give Jerry Dulac credit for this. I talked to him this morning about his column. He really can't come on the air. It's tough for him, Ray, and Ed Bouchette to come on the air with me because I do a talk show that's at a strange time, 12 to 3, and that's the time that Mike Tomlin, lets the media stand on the balcony and watch practice sessions. I don't think they're practicing at Heinz anymore. But between 12:35 and about 2:45 is the time media has to watch practice, take notes. I've watched a lot of practices. They're not going to show us anything, They must think we're stupid. Coaches must think members of the media are stupid. We're not stupid. Some of us have played the game, understand the game. But, for a lot of us, like Ray Fittipaldo, who played the game at Holy Cross, he was an offensive guard. Don't think we're stupid, coaches. I know you don't like us, and a lot of us are beginning not to like you. How do you like that? And I'm talking to the PR guy who gave me about 1 minute because he was in a hurry to go upstairs to the press box. And I said, Bert, aren't we going to be allowed this year in the locker room? And he had a big smile. No, you guys will have to do interviews on Zoom. And then I find out it's not the Steelers, it's the National Football League. So maybe the last time I saw the locker room, I'm trying to think my last interview, and he's gone, Marquise Pouncey. I think that was the last one. We were talking about the other team's defense. I don't know if it was Miami or whatever, but that was the last interview I did in the Steelers locker room, which we may never see again, which is okay. Zoom is all right. My guys that cover the Pirates and the Penguins and the Steelers, they like Zoom, although I want them to have the experience of sticking a microphone in someone's face. But yeah, Pouncey, and he's gone. So I'll be gone from that locker room. Who knows? T.J. Watt, back to Jerry Dulac. Interesting column this morning. I asked him if he had some time to be on the talk show. He said, no, I got to cover the practice. I should have realized the time element. It doesn't favor me, but that's okay. We find ways around it. TJ Watt is expected to sign a contract extension after Friday's game against Carolina. And according to Jerry Dulac, you know, if he says the Steelers are going unbeaten, I might believe him. Because he studies the Steelers in golf. You know he's an expert in golf. Plays it every single day. I think last week he was playing with Mario Lemieux. How about that? Jerry could drop a few names in the golf because that's his business. But according to Jerry, T.J. Watt, when he signs the contract extension, will become the highest paid defensive player in the National Football League. Maybe the Steelers are taking a hint from other teams. Pay up or lose your good player. T.J. Watt, and he's in my top 3 good defensive players. And, you know, he might be number 1 if he has a good year. I thought he should have won the Defensive Player of the Year last year, but that went to Mr. Donald out in L.A. That's probably politics, too. L.A. media, you know, whatever. But T.J. Watt, boy, that's going to be, I can't wait for the numbers for that. You know, we'll dissect those numbers. Hopefully a lot of that money, TJ, is guaranteed. Because you never know when you go out with an injury and you go, oh, I got that big contract, but nothing's guaranteed. And here's a great story. And I'm going to share it with you because I went a couple minutes late on my break. It has to do with the Wild Things. Not because they're playing 9 games in 10 days. It's because they have done something that very few teams in the Frontier League have had the privilege of doing. Tony Buscella, the GM, is a smart kid. He knows what's going on with every team from coast to coast. And what he did might hand the Wild Things the division title and maybe bring to Washington the very first championship. I'll tell you who they just signed. Let's take a break. We're the variety show. Behind this mic, I'm Bill DeFabio. Behind the glass and her mic, Lola Miller. Thank you for joining us on a beautiful day. Try and stay cool because it's a little bit warm out there.
Hi, Toppy Kirchville. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock for Talkline. We'll talk about the big stories affecting us in West Virginia, top political figures, sports personalities, sometimes just plain folks offering their opinions on what's happening today. 10 till noon, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Toyota's national sales event is happening now with savings and reliability you can count on. So check out an adventure-ready gas model RAV4 or a spacious Highlander that seats up to 8, both with up to $750 cash back. Or an all-wheel drive Venza hybrid, now with $1,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great deals. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers may vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end September 7th. Toyota, let's go places.
You're never too far from the most local programming in the Ohio Valley. Find us here. AM 1600 and 1370. FM 98.1 and 97.7. We are the Watchdog. The Watchdog.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
Sleep all day, out all night. I know where you're going. I don't think that's acting right. You don't think it's showing.
And we're back 23 minutes past the hour of 12. It's currently 84, a low tonight of, did I write down 66? It's supposed to be cool tonight, Lola?
I think in the 60s. I mean, that's
not
not
bad.
cold.
Yeah. Okay.
It felt good last night when I was out.
Okay. All right. 84, 81 in Washington. There's always a little difference in the weather, but that's okay. And in Italy, yesterday it was like 94. That's the way I check my sister out. Although I haven't heard from her or anybody, but that's okay. Okay, here's what the Wild Things did that blew my mind this morning when I got a phone call from Tony Basello. It's not a familiar name, although I remember him because he's been with several teams, and I think the last one was the Atlanta Braves. Rob Whalen. Oh, I won't mispronounce that one tonight if he's playing. He's become an answer to a trivia question. Yeah. Who was the first former major leaguer to sign as a player with the Wild Things? Well, Washington announced that they have signed. He's 6'3", 222, that's his weight, 27 years old. He's right-hander. He's pitched in a total of 8 major league games with 6 starts, including 5 for the Atlanta Braves. And he's going to be a great asset to that team. From what I understand, he had that word potential, but he pitched 5 innings as a starter to get an 8-4 win on August 3rd, 2016 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. His one and only major league win, wouldn't you know it, against the Pirates. Were they bad in 2016? Let me think. Oh, yeah, they sucked back then, too. They really haven't been doing well since 2015. There was a span of a couple of years there. He was I wrote the number down here. Oh, there it is. 12th round pick of the New York Mets. And he went to high school in Florida, was traded to the Braves. Then he got traded to Seattle, where he didn't get much playing time. He was playing in the Atlantic League. That's a very good independent league. I mean, you could be 50 years old and play there. You know, you'll have an asterisk by your name. But he played this year for, and this is why I think this is interesting too, any connections with West Virginia. He played in the Independent Atlantic League this year for the West Virginia Power. When his contract was purchased by the Minnesota Twins, then he was released. The guy's been around, all right? Maybe he will be a good guest. Talking about survival in professional baseball. You know, you don't see this happening a lot. You know, once you're in the major leagues, you don't mind sending down to AAA or AA for rehab or whatever, or you're a pitcher and you suck and they send you down to, like the Red Sox send a lot of pitchers down to Worcester, which is their AAA team, or Pittsburgh sends people back to Indianapolis, their AAA team. But you don't see them saying, well, I want to play baseball. I'm going to the Frontier League. That's very rare. Well, I'm going to jot that down. Maybe I'll see him tonight and say, yo, Rob, let's talk about professional baseball. Get him on the air. That'll be cool. I also want to get the manager of the Tri-County, whatever they are, Bombers or whatever. I got my script with, they just made 10 roster moves about 2 hours ago. So just when I'm used to some of their tough names, I got more names coming. Pete Incaviglia. He was a major leaguer. I think Pete still leads all college baseball statistics in home runs. He had more home runs in college than anybody. He might be an interesting guest. Played for the Texas Rangers, all right? If I find it interesting, we'll put him on the air. If I find him boring, no air, because I can do that. The President's Athletic Conference, it's Division III. It's dominated by Washington and Jefferson College. Have they called themselves a university yet? No. They're my neighbors. We don't get along because they like to buy my neighborhood, tear down the old houses, and build parking lots. Don't step on my property, W&J. But W&J is a powerhouse in football, believe it or not. Well, they have a good coach, Sirianni, Mike Sirianni. He's been a guest here. I'll probably have him on when they play, Lola, what's that school next to West Liberty? Bethany. What's their nicknames? Bisons? Are they the Bisons? Yeah. Yeah, but Sirianni's a good guy, by the way. And, his brother is the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. How about that, huh? Maybe I'll ask Mike, can you give me your brother's cell phone? I'd like to have him on the air. That would be cool stuff. Philadelphia Eagles hired his brother. So, but Mike's done a great job with W&J. I mean, if you're a decent player and you know I don't know if I can play Division I don't want to take a shot Division II. There's always Division III, where there's a lot of good football, especially in the PAC. A lot of teams, they want to beat W&J, but W&J just does the right thing. But the PAC just added a powerhouse, Allegheny College. Now, that's a pretty good team, all right? They were in the North Coast Athletic Conference. I didn't know that existed till this morning. It's the only Pennsylvania school in the NCAC. But next year, they will be in the PAC. So there's some competition for W&J. Then there's always this powerhouse team in Division III. They're always ranked in the top 20. Excuse me, I didn't have time to put my hand over the power mute, then I'd probably miss it. But Westminster is a powerhouse. I'd like to see Bethany do better. Waynesburg, I think the high school team can beat Waynesburg University. But Waynesburg puts out a lot of students in communications. How do I know that? Because 6 of the 10 interns in our press box attended Waynesburg, okay? And there's one kid, he's our MC, Ed. He's funnier than hell. He just got a job at a local TV station. I don't want to give out the call letters because they're not our news partner. Let's just say the station is not TRF. I'd like to watch him at home. Well, he's doing the morning, so I don't get it at home. That's one thing I really hated when they took away 7 and 9 from me. Because I got to see the Frank O'Briens and, the Wayne Van Dynes. So I don't know why I lost that. Oh, because my cable carrier from years ago wouldn't carry it. Whatever. Lola, do you get all the Pittsburgh stations at home? The
Yeah.
2, 4, and 11s?
Yeah.
And 53, right? Because that's Fox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know them by that. I know them in the 800s.
Oh, okay. Does your package include, you don't get NFL Network, do you?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Well, I don't know. I get NFL something.
Okay. How many ESPNs do you get?
I have no idea because I don't watch ESPN.
Oh, okay. All right.
All I care about is Red Zone.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
You know,
I don't know what I have anymore. I had many problems with digital, DirecTV, that every time I called somebody, I needed an interpreter, translator, because they were not in the United States. And nothing ever got done. We call you back. Okay, no, you don't call me back. Then the rates went up. So I just said, get lost. I'm going back to the cable pig. I don't care what it costs. I haven't had trouble since I switched 2 years ago. I've never had trouble with Comcast. Oh, you know what I have on my dish, Lola?
What?
Don't laugh at me. It's this big. I got a lot of them. The smiles, the yellow smiles,
Yeah.
I put about 4 of them on the dish. So when you go by my house, you see this big dish with all these smiles. How about that?
Thought you had Comcast.
Yeah, I do, but I didn't take the dish down.
Oh.
What am I going to do with the dish? I don't know. Anybody needs a dish? I guess I could unhook it and throw it in the garbage. Boy, there was a lot of garbage on
You
my
can't
side.
turn it back in for a refund or anything?
No, nope, I tried that. I got a little giggle. And
Well, that's good. People, it's a good little thing to say, that's
Smile.
my house.
Yeah.
And so if pizza delivery guy is coming, you tell him to look for them.
Yeah, look for the smiles on my DirecTV dish, all right? But you know what? I still get a call maybe twice a month. We have a special offer. We want you back. I don't want you, and don't call me again. Take me off your call list. I don't care if they give me 3 months of something different or whatever. I got what I want. I got Netflix. Infinity has all kinds of movies. I got enough. I probably should eliminate a lot of it. I could probably live on the sports channels, MeTV, AMC, what's the other one? Turner Classics. I could probably just live with those.
That's basically
What you watch?
Turner.
Yeah.
Turner's on in my room all the time, just about.
What is that here on your cable?
890.
Okay. That should be the same with
But
video.
then downstairs, we watch network and, all the streaming stuff, everything like that gets watched.
You get BBC?
What?
BBC News.
Yeah.
Okay, you watch it? Because I watch it a
Not-
lot.
I'm trying to not watch any news at all.
Yeah, I'm getting that way too. But once in a while, they'll sprinkle a sports note in there. It's all crazy. This Afghanistan thing is making me throw up. Now the Taliban says there'll be no extension, so I was just listening to the voice of a woman asking the president and the government, please get me out of here, please. Please get me out of here. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. All right. Later today, Lowell, I'm going to talk to you about hot dogs. Did you hear the recent story about hot dogs?
No, and I have one in the fridge right now for lunch.
One hot dog takes 23 minutes away of your life expectancy. Where do they come up with this stuff? Where do they come up with this stuff? Wings can take away 11 minutes of your life expectancy. That's like 3 wings. Well, then I'm going to die soon because I grew up on hot dogs and press boxes. I'm going to ask you about that. And you think...
It's just like I say, well, if you drink 2 cups of coffee a day, it'll extend your life by X amount of time. Well, what if you drink 6?
Yeah.
Is that going to like extend it 6 times what that number was? It's ridiculous. It's people that have gotten paid oogles and oogles of money to come up with this stuff. They sit in a box all day dreaming up this stuff, and then they get paid bunches of money.
And a lot of people believe all this stuff. Hey, who is the guy who just won the hot dog contest? What's his name?
Oh, Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, he's going to die soon if this is true.
He should have died many years ago, truthfully.
Yeah, Joey, if you're listening, did you hear that story? 70 hot dogs, man, that just took away 10 years of your life. Oh, it's a bunch of crap. We're going to be back. We don't have crap here. A little bit of BS, but that's okay. We're here to entertain you and be informative. I'm going to have the football schedules and everything that's happening this week in sports, whether it's West Virginia, Ohio State, Pitt. Well, we don't talk about Pitt here. But we'll be right back after the break.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. Governor Jim Justice will not be the coach of the Greenbrier East boys basketball team. The Greenbrier County School Board this past hour voting 3-2 against the hiring of Justice for the job. The vote came after a dramatic address to the board by one of the team's players, junior John Gabbert.
I want the board to consider that the team and its players are the most people that is going to be impacted on this decision. So I want you to think about the repercussions for us because we're the most people that's going to be impacted. We want a coach that's going to watch film, go out and scout the games, and help us on and off the court issues.
And our Brad McElhaney was there.
Well, he did not ever mention Coach Justice's name, but there seemed to be a direct correlation with comments that Jim Justice had made to Metro News earlier, saying that at his age and with his other responsibilities, he would have to lean heavily on his assistant coaches.
Brad will have the story posted at WVMetroNews.com. Elsewhere, the governor this hour addressing reporters in his first COVID briefing of the week. The DHHR today reporting 2,486 new cases of the virus in West Virginia. That's pushed the active case total to 10,543. First time it's topped 10,000 since February 17th. In Putnam County, a tense school board meeting earlier today, but the Board of Education on a 5-0 vote reverses a decision and will now have masks optional in the schools. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. The State Public Service Commission will be in Beckley this evening to hold a special public hearing and hear from Suddenlink customers who have had problems with that service. Suddenlink has been on the hot seat in recent months with the commission following a high number of complaints about poor quality service and even worse response time to requests for repairs. Tonight's public hearing will be at the Raleigh County Courthouse and the first of 4 public hearings that the commission is holding in the Suddenlink case. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Washington County's largest gun show is back on Saturday and Sunday, September 25th and 26th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Washington County Fairgrounds. Admission is only $7. Kids under 12 get in free with an adult. Everyone is welcome. They offer free appraisals and have great prices on all types of firearms, modern, military, and antique. They have over 450 tables, and the food's pretty good too. They have all these tables with cash buyers on site for your used guns. Visit arhsportshop.com or you can give them a call, 724-948-3571. That's 724-948-3571 for more information. That's the Washington County Gun Show presented by ARH Sports Shop
September 25th and 26th.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it.
Hey, Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug
Does
disposal.
your company's website work for you? Is it helping attract new clients and improving your brand awareness? If not, or you don't know, contact the team at Omni Strategic Technologies. With expert web developers, they build amazing web experiences that help their clients perform better. Contact Omni at 304-242-7600 or visit them at www.omniperforms.com.
Hi, it's Hoppy Kercheval inviting you to join me weekdays, 10 till noon for a statewide talk line. We talk about the big stories affecting us in West Virginia. We talk with top political figures, sports personalities, and sometimes just us folks talking, all offering our opinions on what's happening today. 10 till noon, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
It's the little old lady from Pasadena. The little old lady from Pasadena has a pretty little flower bed of white gardenias, but parked in a rickety old garage is a brand new shiny red Superstock Dodge. And everybody's saying that there's nobody meaner than the little old lady from Pasadena. She's the terror of Colorado Boulevard. It's the little old lady from Pasadena. If you see her on the street, don't try to choose her.
Pretty cool song by a couple of guys who used to party with the Beach Boys. I think they're both living, Jan and Dean. I don't know. That was a top 5 song, sold a lot of records. I played that 45 a lot. I still have the sleeve for that. It's a picture of Jan and Dean with a little old lady, okay? I mean a little old lady. Granny looked like she's about 100 years old, smiling. She's in the middle of the 2 guys. That's pretty cool. And they had other songs, too. Car songs, because that was a big thing in the 60s, you know. Beach songs, you know. I used to watch, what was it, Lola? Frankie Avalon, Annette Funicello, who I liked. That's probably why I joined the Mickey Mouse Club.
Beach party movies. There were a bunch of them.
Yeah. You'd see Frankie on his surfboard, then behind him they had the film, what's that called? The backstage thing? Where it looked like he was at the beach?
Well, I don't know what they
There's a
called it
terminology.
back then. Now it's green screen.
Yeah, it looked fake at the theater. And I went to see one of them because a very young Don Rickles, he was bald at 25, I think. He was in the movie. Don Rickles made quite a few movies. He made one with Clint Eastwood, and I think he wrote a book about partying with Clint Eastwood in Czechoslovakia, which was where it was filmed in that. So, all right, but yeah, I bet there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that would probably turn our heads. Listening to that song about the little old lady from Pasadena, I forgot to mention yesterday. Was I here yesterday? Yeah, Monday. Boo. Over the weekend, I stopped, it was on my way to work, do security for the Steelers. So I stopped by this, it was like a convenience store, huge parking lot. I wanted to get a cup of coffee and maybe some snacks, cheese or something, because I can't afford to, on my breaks. I had 4 breaks, and there's no way I'm going to the concession stand and spend $50. Plus the hot dogs and hamburgers, aren't that great? And I get a discount, 20%. But if a dog is $8, what's 20%, Lola? Not very much, is it? $3? $2? I don't know. So I went to get some munchies. So I see this maroon-colored car. And I'm thinking, wait a second, that's a Corvair. And I know my Corvairs because I owned one, a 62 Monza. This was a 1965 Corvair Monza. Today, it would be a nice subcompact car, whatever. All right? It was in beautiful shape. I'm looking at it. Went back to get my phone out of the car. I'm taking pictures of it, front, sideways, and I'll send you one, Lola. I got a lot of friends that do car shows. Wait till they see this. I wanted to see a for sale sign. Like, that's all I need is another car, right? But I wouldn't mind having something like my first car. But this car was beautiful. I know it was repainted in that. So I'm taking pictures, and a lady comes out, and I thought it was hers because she's watching me take pictures. I said, is that your car? She goes, no, it belongs to one of the employees here. Oh, okay. And she says, you won't believe this, but he's only 22 years old. And he restored the car. And I'm there, oh my goodness. I really wanted to meet this kid, but I wanted to get my coffee and get out of there. Because, you know, I think it was a 7-Eleven. It's not like stop and go, you're in, you're out. Nothing's in, you're out anymore because there's always a line waiting for you to stand there, and there's only one cash register with a sign, you know, we're hiring. So, but it was a beautiful car. I stared at that thing. It was like showroom, rims, everything. I think it was original, too. Original, well, you can get bumpers like the original, whatever. And have a 22-year-old restored, that's cool stuff. Yeah, 65 Corvair Monza. Google it. Today would be a nice compact car, all right? Just like my Pinto. It was a piece of crap, but I liked it. Who came out and said you don't have a Pinto because if you get hit in the rear, it'll catch on fire? Who was the guy? He was responsible for the Corvair, too.
I know, Ralph Nader.
Yeah, Ralph Nader. When he spoke, people listened. I don't know. I had both cars. I never had problems with them. Both cars were very cool with gas mileage, you know. But the problem I had, the Corvair was the color of dog poo. That brown, you know. And the color of my Pinto, yellow. So you see me coming down the street, who's that driving that Pinto, the yellow Pinto? Yeah. 2 bad cars. Then I bought a Citation. Then when I got some money, I bought Corvettes, I bought Cadillacs. I was crazy. I wanted things that I couldn't buy when I was younger. And now, all this stuff I have, as I'm getting older, I don't want anything. Don't want anything. What's that mean, Lola? I'm losing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Bill, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I just lost a very good friend, an attorney friend of mine. Probably would get me out of jail if I did some harm, bad harm to people. He's that good. One of the most respected attorneys in Western Pennsylvania, Gene Fatone. Gene and I had spent a lot of time at coffee shops talking about law and order, gun laws and stuff, what to do, not to do. And I find out this morning that he had passed away over the weekend because it was front page of my Observer Reporter. He had cancer of the lungs. He was going to retire a couple of years ago, but I was reading some quotes from his wife, and she mentioned, you know, as long as he could go to the office, he wanted to work for the public. So I didn't know they do this, but Thursday there's going to be like a march/parade of all the attorneys around that knew him. And they're closing off the streets in Washington in acknowledge of Gene Fatone. So I didn't know they did that, Lola.
I didn't either.
It's like, you know, if a fireman passes away or a policeman, they have the big parade.
You know, people want to organize something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it. There have been funerals for just people that were so popular in town that, you know, the funeral procession is a mile long. And so they close down intersections and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Gene was a good man. Good man. Good listener. Good listener. Well respected. Even people didn't like him because he got things done. He got things done, so whatever. Well, it's another friend going. Oh, boy. I'm glad when I leave this earth, I won't have to talk about me. What will you tell people when I leave, Lola? I was a good guy?
Yeah, Bill, you don't have to fish for compliments, you know?
All right, I need this from you, all right?
What?
You can think about it for the rest of the shows. All right. If you were told the date that you were going to die, would you want to know? Think about it, okay? Hey, Dan, the CEO of housekeeping, would you want to know?
I don't know. Think about it. I have to think about it.
Okay, well, don't wait and tell me on Thursday the next time you're here, okay? By the way, your Sox won last night. I've been thinking about that. Would I want to know? I think so. Because everything that I've put off that I want to do, I would hurry up and do it. I still have a little bit of cash left in my annuities or whatever, investments. Yeah. If my date was, say, November 4th, which is my birthday, I sure in hell wouldn't be here. I would be, I don't know what I'd be doing, but I'd be spending money. I would go to places I always wanted to see, you know. Grand Canyon, Golden State Bridge. What did I want to do in, where are the 4 presidents? Mount Rushmore? They probably wouldn't let me up there. Of course, the height would kill me. I want to go visit some of my fraternity brothers in New England. I got a real good friend. He's asked me for 3 years. He's got beachfront condo. He's worth zillions of dollars. And he always would call. He called me a couple weeks ago. He says, get your butt down here. All you have to do is pay for the airlines, and I'll take care of you. You don't pay for anything. And it's right, Fort Lauderdale. No, the Gold Coast. What's the Gold Coast called? Sarasota, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I should take him up on there. I got some vacation days, and you know, I always save them for what, you know. If I get, I don't think I'll go back to Italy, but I would like to visit France. You know, I've been to Spain. I wouldn't mind going to China or Japan, but that's a long airplane trip. And if you know anything about me, I always have to have a seat next to the bathroom, way in the back. That way I get to talk to the hostess and waitresses too. But yeah, I'd like to know. I'd like to know. If they tell me tomorrow, boy, I'm in big trouble. But I'll get your answer later, Lola. I got a feeling you'd want to know.
I don't know.
Okay. Something to think about. You know, something that I saw in the paper or something. Would you want to know the date that you leave this earth? Yeah, I think so. My luck, it'd be a couple of weeks. But, all right, the Wild Things are home for 9 games. The one good thing about the Wild Things, there's a chance they're going to win a championship, a division championship, and then a Frontier League championship, which has never been done. But there's so much parity, and the Wild Things have been stocking up on good players. This kid from Mississippi State that just won the national championship, Scotty DeBrule, I had to work on that for a while. Mr. DeBrule is a leadoff batter, and he's the real deal. He got a lot of hits in the championship game against Vanderbilt, and he's going places. James Meeker is with Milwaukee. That's a Double-A team. The Wild Things, they're doing what the Yankees did. We're not going to sit around. We're going to improve our roster. And they did by getting this ex-major leaguer, Rob Whalen. I think it'd be an interesting guest. Up and down, in and out of professional baseball with several teams, and he still thinks he's going to be back in the majors. I'd like to hear, you know, some of his thoughts, his thought process, from the top to the bottom. Yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff. Today is Vesuvius Day. You know your history on that day, don't you, yeah, I almost called you Marlene. I just talked to a Marlene on the phone.
Mount Vesuvius erupted and wiped out Pompeii.
Yep.
800 and some.
Could it still explode, you think?
What?
Could it still explode again? Yeah. Because I saw a picture on the phone this morning. There's like all kinds of, it's like a little town there and everything. I'd be a little bit worried. Oh, what the hell? If you're going to go, you're going to go. It happened on the morning of 0079. I wonder if Howard covered that. Mount Vesuvius overlooking the Bay of Naples. I understand Naples is a beautiful area. But about noon, without any warning, it exploded. The volcano erupted. spewing. Ooh, I don't want to read that. Burying Pompeii under 13 feet of hash. Ugh. Mud, debris. Most of the Romans were buried alive. In 1748, 2,000 skeletons were eventually uncovered. Imagine you're taking that job, but no, and nobody knows how many more thousands of people died from the choking, the fumes. What a way to go. Just get hit by a Mack truck. I wouldn't want to go through that. It's now a peaceful, beautiful mountain. Okay. But back then on 0079, it was everything but beautiful. Ugh. I don't want to do the news right now. Did you watch the preseason game with Trevor Lawrence at all?
No, I did not.
You didn't miss anything.
I
had to
figure
watch
I
to see.
would.
I had to watch and see how the kid looked. He didn't look too good. I mean, you know, he's just a rookie. There's a lot of pressure on him, and he was going up against a New Orleans team. They did have a few starters in there on defense, so it's a good test for the kid. And I'm still trying to figure out what happened with Cam Newton. How can there be a misunderstanding? I know Bill Belichick. He doesn't say anything, but he did say somebody made a mistake somewhere. So whatever. He's going to be out for about 5 days. He should be okay because, you know, the Steelers don't play till what, 11 days after Friday? Most teams, you know, I forget what the first game is. But I want to go over this because this would probably take a half hour to go over. But I'm a fast reader. Tomorrow, August 25th, we have the high school sports line from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on both stations. I have to go slow so I can absorb this and you absorb it. Cleveland Browns preview show on WKKX, okay? On Friday, August 27th, holy mackerel. Friday afternoon walkthrough, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. on both radio stations. A team from Western Pennsylvania, the Bridgers of Ambridge, will be playing Wheeling Central High School, 7 o'clock on WKKX. Now on WVLY, we have John Marshall versus University. Are we done with Friday? No way, Jose. Fifth quarter scoreboard at 9:30, followed by the Metro News High School game night at 10 o'clock. Man, we got you covered. Now on Saturday, we have the ONN Sports Magazine. Lola, I'm too lazy to look it up. What's ONN?
Ohio News Network.
Oh, okay. I forgot we got that too. I better write that down. Ohio News Network. We got Metro News, Ohio News. Why don't we get Pennsylvania News? Because nobody cares. I don't. ONN Sports Magazine in the morning, 8 a.m. to 8:30. Okay, then there's the Metro High School football scoreboard from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. We got one more for you, folks. A little bit more on the local side. Sports Huddle from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And that's it for Saturday, okay? Sunday, we got the Browns pregame show at 4:30. Is that on both stations, Lola?
I don't know. I think it's only on KKX.
Okay. If there's a change, I'll let you know, folks. And then we have the pregame show at 4:30, followed by the football game, and you might see some starters. The Browns versus the Falcons, okay? I watched the Falcons the other night. They don't look too good. But nobody looks real good right now. You know, the Steelers, if they beat Carolina, and they probably will, they'll be 4-0, and Steeler Nation will go, oh, wow, did we look good? Yeah, you look good at 4-0. I've seen teams 0-4 go to the Super Bowl. That was a Patriots team a long time ago. What you do in preseason, don't pay attention to the scoreboard. It's just filling out the roster with who's the best, okay? And we should know what Steelers will be. I predicted with Ray Fittipaldo, four veterans will get cut. He says 2. I don't know what we bet. I don't know. But that's our lineup, Wednesday through Sunday. And, of course, Friday, maybe even Thursday now, because I'm not going to cram 9 coaches into a couple of hours. I'm going to spread it out a little bit because I like to spend time with the coaches to talk about their kids, their schedule, their opponents. So we might have 1 or 2 coaches on Thursdays, too. So we do it all for you, okay? Yeah. Oh, boy, we got to go. I have somebody scheduled for 108, and I forgot because I didn't write it down. Might be Frank O'Brien with some interesting news involving Danny Magruder. He's going to tell me when he gets there. He wouldn't tell me last night. We'll be right back.
Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world that I found It's too good to be true. Standing here beside you, want so much to give you this love in my heart that I'm feeling for you. Let them say we're crazy, I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby, don't ever look back. Let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we're heart to heart. And we can.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1 W251CY, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7 W249DU, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Biden will deliver remarks later today to update Americans on the situation in Afghanistan. It comes as that situation in Kabul intensifies. A Taliban spokesperson says they will block crowds traveling to the airport and say they don't support extending the deadline past the August 31st date. ABC's Louis Martinez is at the Pentagon.
The message to the Afghan population from this spokesman is don't go to the airport. That is going to create a significant problem here for the United States, because if they're stopping the flow of people getting to the airport, what happens next? Because the U.S. says we're going to continue with our mission to try to get them out, but if nobody shows up because the Taliban is now blocking their way, that's a significant development.
The deadline now 1 week away. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi vowing to take up a procedural vote on the budget framework today.
A Democratic aide says Speaker Pelosi is telling members this morning they're close to landing the plane, going on to apologize that a vote didn't happen last night, but that the delay is just part of the legislative process. A senior Democratic aide telling ABC News a vote on the bipartisan infrastructure bill will likely happen in the final week of September, giving moderate Democrats more time to debate the bill. The House Rules Committee is meeting to make changes to what the chamber will vote on later today. Ika Giacchi, ABC News, Washington.
Word today, Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts has died, a spokesperson saying in a statement the 80-year-old passed away peacefully in a London hospital, surrounded by his family. Watts had been a member of the iconic rock band since 1963, playing with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. His death coincides with the 40th anniversary of the release of the famed album Tattoo You, which featured the hit Start Me Up. Earlier this month, the band announced Watts would not be joining the band's upcoming U.S. tour as he recovered from an unspecified medical procedure. You're listening to ABC News.
G'day, mate. As an Australian, I'm a croc expert. Crikey, get him away from me. I mean crocs, like the footwear. And as a croc expert, I have to say I like foamies from Skechers bloody better. Because foamies have that stylish, trendy look, plus Skechers' world-famous comfort. All for a price that's down under the competition. Skechers is the comfort technology company. And foamies have comfort innovations your whole family will love. Foamies are ultra-lightweight, water-friendly footwear that are flexible and breathable. Perfect for kicking it by the pool, grilling on the barbie. Or comfy enough to go on a walkabout. Plus, only foamies come with fits and features like Arch Fit with podiatrist-certified support. And Max cushioning that feels like you're walking on big puffy marshmallows. And foamies are perfect to keep you cool this summer or warm in the winter, which is great because it's actually winter in Australia right now. Good on you, Skechers. So get yourself some machine washable foamies by Skechers and don't get bit by crocs. He's a mean fella. Find foamies at Skechers.com, a Skechers store, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
For the first time in 10 years, New York State has a new governor. Kathy Hochul is at the helm after Andrew Cuomo resigned following the state attorney general's report that found evidence he sexually harassed 11 women while in office. Hochul confirmed she's been in touch with the White House and promised a collaborative relationship, she says, with Washington.
I spoke with President Biden last night to talk about a number of issues. He pledged his full support to my administration in anything we need.
Vice President Kamala Harris on her first trip to Southeast Asia as VP, condemning some of China's actions in the region.
Vice President Kamala Harris in Singapore.
We know that Beijing continues to coerce, to intimidate, and to make claims to the vast majority of the South China Sea.
This comes as China continues to claim most of the South China Sea, claims that have long been rejected by the international community. Harris also pledged to work with the U.S.'s allies in the area on climate change and the COVID crisis. Inez de la Quatera, ABC News, at the Foreign Desk.
Passengers on board an Alaska Airlines plane were forced to evacuate in Seattle when a cell phone burst into flames. Officials say that phone caught fire inside the cargo hold of the jet after the plane landed from New Orleans. 128 passengers were on board. Some of them suffered injuries, but all are described as minor injuries. This is ABC News.
Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray. Why let those dishes pile up? Dawn Dish Spray cleans them super fast. Just spray, wipe, and rinse. Baby's taking a nap. Clean those bottles in a snap. Just spray, wipe, and rinse. Dawn Dish Spray, it's a spray for your dishes. Movie mess in a blender, clean it easy, clean it fast. Just spray, wipe, and rinse. Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray. How's it work again? Just spray, wipe, and rinse.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
This is ONN. On the Ohio News Network, I'm Daniel Barnett. Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus has provided an update on COVID cases at that facility. ONN's Dave James reports.
Dr. Rustin Morse is the hospital's chief medical officer. He says across all illnesses, there are 366 patients.
12 of whom have tested positive for COVID, 3 of whom are in the intensive care unit, and 1 is on a life-sustaining supporting ventilator.
Dr. Morse says there were no more than 1 or 2 kids hospitalized with COVID early in the month. He says he's a proponent of mask wearing for kids in all grades at school, especially those under age 12 who can't get a vaccine. Dave James, ONN News.
And a house exploded last night in the northwestern corner of the state, very near the Indiana and Michigan state lines. Tatiana Cash with affiliate station WTOL-TV in Toledo reports.
In Williams County, the county coroner said that 1 man is dead following this house explosion. The Northwest Township Fire Department responded to the scene sometime before 6 p.m., and there was little left from this explosion. Again, the coroner's office is reporting that 1 man is dead and that his significant other has actually suffered non-life-threatening injuries. At this time, there is no word yet on what has caused this explosion. I'm Tatiana Cash.
For a look at state news anytime, visit ONNradio.com. I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Stand by. You're back to live and local programming in moments on The Watchdog.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah? You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go, 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure, I mean, you being a mountain climber and all.
Yep.
You probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the storm tracker Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon, a hot one, a high near 91. Overnight low of 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. The clouds we do have around for your Wednesday break for plenty of sunshine with temperatures near 93 for the daytime high. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Tax the rich, feed the poor, till there are no rich no more. I love to change the world, but I don't know what to do. So I leave it up to you. Population keeps on breeding, nation bleeding, still more feeding economy. Life is funny, skies are sunny, bees make honey, who needs money, monopoly?
Don't leave it up to me. Don't leave that up to me. There's smarter people out there that can change the world. Maybe one of them sitting right in front of me, Frank O'Brien.
Hey, how are you?
Well, I'm a little bit sick now.
What do you mean sick?
Well, you know, I had the pleasure in getting paid for it, escorting the Stones to the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Now there's the Stones -1.
I know, it's,
Charlie
that,
Watts,
right?
80 years old. Does it say what he died of, Lola? Okay. Wow.
We're talking
wondering-
about the drummer.
Yeah.
Wow.
He never moved. He was so cool.
Didn't smile much either, right?
Oh, no. Maybe when he got the checks.
Yeah.
When, you know, when Mick was passing out the checks, because he's like one of the smartest businessmen in rock and roll. I'm wondering, and I'm just thinking negatively, would they cancel the concert in October?
Well, October's not very far away, Bill,
Yeah.
so they could be grieving or mourning or
Yeah.
have some special ceremonies. I mean,
Yeah.
wasn't he with them 4 or 5 decades?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He started with them in 1963.
Unbelievable.
Wow. And then I didn't really check it out. I should have, but Lola reminded me. That's why we pay her the big bucks. Don Everly passed away, and I didn't know that.
Everly Brothers.
Yeah. And Don Everly, 1980. Let's see. How old was he? Was he 84, Lola? Did you tell me? Yeah, 84.
They played at the Capitol Theater. I got to meet them
Yeah.
many, many years ago.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
They were 16 and 17 when they were on the Ed Sullivan Show. And of course, they made the American Bandstand over and over again.
Right.
And yeah, I guess, you know, I'm going to be 70 soon, so I guess a lot of people I've grown up with have already passed away, whatever.
You collecting Social Security already?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Ah, look at you.
Well, why shouldn't I? I worked for it. I should have waited a couple more years.
Yeah. Get a higher percentage, right?
Yeah, but yeah. Well, if you wait till you're 74 or 70, yeah, okay, I'm not going to wait. I've already answered my question. I'll ask you, if you were listening. If you were told when you were going to die, would you want to know?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, Dan, our CEO of housekeeping, said yeah. First thing he would do, he wanted to go to Fenway Park. See the Red Sox. He's a Red Sox guy.
If that's on his bucket list, he should get
Well,
in
he
the car and
doesn't. He
drive.
doesn't have a life. Okay.
Oh, well, come on now.
No, he enjoys what he's doing. You know, he enjoys working here. He's got another building, and he lives nearby. He does a lot of walking. He watches a lot of sports. He's a freelance guy. He doesn't have a car. He says, I don't need a car. You know, I got transportation. You know.
Well, you can get a Greyhound bus to Boston, right?
I don't know.
I think you can.
Yeah. I guess you can. I don't know. Well, yeah. I took a nice bus ride up the. Who's the guy up the street? Bill from.
Bill Bryson.
Yeah, good
travel.
man. Yeah. I took an overnighter to New York and had a great time. The room was real small. I think our room was about as big as the studio. Everything was in. But it's like our tour guide who was, I forget her name, she was a lovely lady, said, you're not going to spend time in your room.
Well, it's like one of those boutique hotels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed in one in New York City. You're right. My room was actually like a small triangle.
That's what mine was, yeah.
And my window opened up to a wall.
Yeah.
A brick wall from outside, yeah. But you're right. That's a good argument for it.
Yeah, if you're going to New York City for a day or two, you're not going to stay in your room. You're just going to go to the bathroom and shower, right? Change clothes. Don't even have to change clothes. That's when I had my first experience about buying a Rolex.
Yeah, you can buy them on every other street corner, right?
As soon as I got out of the hotel, there's a guy with a briefcase. Hey, man, I got a great... And I knew it was junk.
Yeah.
But it looked real. So I bought it $25, okay? And I wore it for maybe a minute, and it stopped. So I went down the street, chased the guy. Today I'd probably get mugged. And I said, hey, it doesn't work. He says, for another $5, I can give you a better one. So I got the better one. And I would wear it to Steeler practice. Oh, that DeFabio's making a lot of money with his network. He got a Rolex. I goes, yeah, only paid a couple $1,000 for that baby. And they believed me. But I had fun with it. Even Dan Rooney, when he saw me with it, God bless his soul, he says, yeah, I thought you always, struggled to make a buck. And you got a Rolex? I said, I wanted to buy 2 of them. I had the cash. And I did. I had the cash to buy 2 of them.
Of course, $60 a piece or whatever.
But they look so real. They look so real,
What, did Rooney say, your watch is bigger than mine? Or?
No, he just had, I think, a little Timex. I'm not sure.
Well, actually, nobody wears wristwatches anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's using their cell phones for time.
Yeah, why are you saying that? I just took 3 watches to King's Jewelers to get batteries.
Well, you can actually, if you were in a big room with a bunch of different people of different ages, and if you said, anyone under 30, or everybody under 30 that has a wristwatch, raise your hand. I'd seriously doubt there'll be anybody raise their hand.
Orientation for the Wild Things, when I had 15,000 interns, most of them from Waynesburg, I said, raise your hand if you've read the newspaper lately. Nobody.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you listen to the radio. One person.
There's different vehicles, different platforms.
Yeah.
People are getting their news information online. They're getting it in instant messaging. The whole world's changing, Bill. You got to change with it, right?
No. I'll just be on a rant all my life.
I have something. Sometimes my wife's probably not listening, so that'll be good. But
yeah.
Every once in a while, she'll have some kind of technical issue with a phone, computer, whatever, email. And then ultimately, I will say, some people should not be allowed to interact with high technology.
Yeah.
And you're one of them. And she would look at me like, oh, man, that's me.
Look at this.
What?
I just found out about this, okay? It's a smart key, all right? I'll lock my door, walk away a couple of feet, and say, oh, man, did I leave a book or something in there? And I go to use this, but when I have my hand on the handle, it opens. That's because of this.
Right,
I never knew that until a couple of days ago. A smart key.
Well, you may be the one that should not have technology.
No, just give me it like Lola's truck. Put the key in, put it in shift, and go. I got an instrument panel, looks like an airplane, that tells me my heartbeat, I think. I don't need that on that car. And I didn't buy it for me, but I end up with it. So whatever. Yeah, a smart key. Give me a break.
Well, that's a pretty much standard.
You have a smart key?
I do. Yeah.
You have a Jaguar, don't you? Or
No.
Don't you collect cars or whatever?
No, I know you do, but I don't.
No, I don't do it anymore, but I remember, give me the old car. I saw, and we probably don't worry about events, we'll just have a good time. Listen to this. I saw a 65 Corvair.
I heard you talking about it.
Yeah, well, I got a picture. I'm going to show you if I can.
And the young man was that restored it, right?
Yeah, I wanted to meet him, but I didn't have time to go look for him in the store while he was working. Plus, his boss would probably get mad.
Well, but
there you go. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that is sharp. That is sharp.
Hold on.
I mean,
The
what about
original
the audio?
wheels?
Yeah, they look like they're original.
Yeah, they are. He got them somewhere. I don't know. He did a lot of research. He restored the bumper, everything, man. It's a beautiful car. I wish there was a for sale sign on it. That'd be great. Bringing another car home. Hey, woman, do I say anything about your 3 or 4 Miller Lights every night? No. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. I'd like, at one time people in East Washington thought I was nuts. Well, they're right. I had like 11 cars at one time. The driveway was filled. Across the street, I had old cars. You know, a lot of people would stop and take pictures of them. But it got to be too expensive.
We had a one that looked like an old police car for a while there.
Oh, I still have that.
It's a black and white with a cherry on top.
Yeah, well, you know why?
Why?
People see me on the highway, they slow down.
Ah.
And then I get the number one finger a lot, too.
Well, that could also have a reverse
Yeah.
result if they think you're impersonating a police officer.
No, well,
And a real police officer sees that.
Well, I've been stopped by the real police, and they want to buy the car. And, you know, the bad guys, they love those cars. Just 2 months ago, I was in the parking lot at Washington Mall. You know, there's nothing left of the Washington Mall.
Right.
Or Franklin Mall. And a guy came up to me, and I'm going, oh, this might not be good. He says, how much you want? I said, it's not for sale. He pulls out a wad of money. He says, will you take $7,000? I should have taken it, because I only paid like $3,500 to a detective I worked with in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of like it. It's cool. You know? You know where I have it parked? There's a four-way. Lemoyne Avenue, Wade Avenue. I have it parked on the corner because people go through the stop signs. Now they slow down. Now they slow down to see who's behind the steering wheel. It's a Clint Eastwood cutout.
I'm surprised. I know you don't have an HOA in your neighborhood.
What's an HOA?
Housing association.
No, no.
You know, where they keep an eye on how you're cutting your grass and whether or not you can have this or that in your yard.
No.
So obviously you don't have one. Or
No,
maybe...
no, the dog lady comes in the neighborhood because we have a problem with dog pooping on our lawns.
So you got the common problem that all of us have, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, wait till you see the signs that are going to be made. Yeah.
All right.
I love dogs.
Me too.
But you know what? You're supposed to carry a bag, and there's a $200 fine. So I'm just going to take a picture of you and deliver it to the police. What are you going to do? You know? I love dogs. There are two Great Danes. A couple just moved in up the street. Two Great Danes. You ever see a Great Dane poop?
No. But I know it's a big dog.
Oh, it's like a horse.
Oh, my God.
And guess who stepped in it one time?
Ah.
Oh, whatever. I'm going to cut some grass tomorrow because everybody's too busy to cut grass, and I bet I step into some, which is okay. I don't know. I really shouldn't care, but that bugs me, man. You know, when I had Tank, my dog, never pooped on anybody's lawn. I always had a big bag. I had to have a big bag. You know, those little baggy things. I get sick smelling that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would wear it like I'd have gloves. Okay. But never in 16 years did they ever go in someone else's yard or anything. Well, we have a big woods behind us.
Right. Well, I can claim the same thing.
And then we got a lot of deer poop because the deer, you know, they're being chased out of Washington Park because we're rebuilding the swimming pool. We're adding baseball fields, basketball courts. Where's the deer going to go? They're coming in our neighborhood, and it's a shame.
Yeah.
You know?
It is.
Yeah.
How about we're going to talk about some
And then let me tell you about the squirrels. No, go ahead. I have a list too. We want to compare notes? Hold on.
I just asked for visitors and certainly residents alike to try to be as patient and as forgiving as we possibly can on this whole street situation.
But it's frustrating, Frank.
I know, Main and Market.
Look at my buddy River City. You can't even get it. You can't park there. Across the street.
Yeah,
the
but
restaurant with the food and all that stuff, you can't park near there.
I know, and it's miserable. I'm not even sure why the visitor center is open today because you can't get to it.
Why? Are they working down there?
Yeah, 14th Street is completely closed. Main in front of our building is closed, or on the side of the building. But they're replacing water lines that are more than 100 years old.
That's fine, but then you're going to tear them up again in the street, right?
Yeah, but only to add a final product. You know what I'm saying? By that time, when they're doing that streetscape, you shouldn't have to tear it up anymore to put in water lines because they've taken care of that problem. And so potentially, if it's done right, I suppose that the water lines they're putting in today will have at least 50 years of no problems, I would hope.
Yeah, then a water line out here by the parking lot breaks and we'll have another flood in here.
Well, that can happen too. But please try to be as patient as possible. I mean, it's Wheeling's roads, and not by the community, but by like the federal government for a good example, was on Interstate 70 as well. It was ignored for 40, 50 years. So it has to be addressed. And so
I like what they've been doing with the tunnels.
Yes, yes.
You know, I got used to that.
Keeping them open and keeping everything
For a
working.
while, I got used to, well, I'm going to outsmart everybody. I'm going on 40. That's where all the truckers were, too. So.
Right.
But I made time. I got used to it, you know.
Well, once we get through all of this, there's going to be some great access to Wheeling, and it's not something that's going to come back again over and over and over. So if we can put up with this, and plus when you add in the COVID stuff, so perhaps that's the silver lining. You know, get all this stuff down when people are not traveling as much as they used to.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, there's certainly less people on 70 now than there would be normally.
See, you have patience. I can't spell it. I'm not patient, okay?
Yeah, I could never remember if it's the E before the I or the I before the E. That's only with receive, right?
I think so. I'd ask Lola. She's the expert in spelling. I don't know.
I before E except after C.
There it is.
I before C except after E, right?
I before C. So
yeah.
Words like receipt, is that one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, look at me. All right. I got
Look
some
at the
clarity.
Look at the inconvenience for Lola. It used to take her 2 minutes to go home because of the bridge. Now it takes her like 20 minutes.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And when are you going to open the bridge? Can't you open that bridge? You got a lot of power in this town.
The suspension bridge.
Yeah.
No, it's in line for some possible multi-million-dollar rehab. So, yeah. And the good news is the state roads and their superintendents and the division, they really like the suspension bridge. They understand its importance, not only to West Virginia, but architecture in general.
A lot of
So
history there, man.
They're going to take care of it. It's
right.
you know, it may, you know, I hope it's open to traffic in the future.
Okay.
But cars don't seem to be getting lighter. They may perhaps get lighter, but anything over 4,000 pounds should not be driving across the bridge. It's not, you know, its limit is only 2 ton.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, so just about every vehicle on the roads, especially like pickup trucks, SUVs, they're 3,700 pounds and up. So that, you know, that puts a lot of stress on the bridge.
Yep. Okay, but
Considering it was built for Conestoga wagons and
well, let's go back to wagons then.
a couple of
Wagon Train. That's a good show. Never mind. But what did I want to ask you? Oh, and the McClure is going to go through some renovations?
Yeah, it's underway. The Roxby Corporation.
Yeah. Are they local?
Yes. Very good people. I've met them on a number of occasions. They're doing good work. They got the Scottish Rite Building, which is undergoing some rehabilitation, which will be a public venue to some extent, where you can rent rooms and have you know, conference business, receptions. So it's going to be an event venue, which I think is going to be special. And what they're doing with the McClure is pretty exciting, actually. If the plan goes as at least was suggested to me, I've looked at a couple of pictures, because they paint it white, they could do some things with lighting, especially at night, that would really make it a colorful building. And so I'm pretty excited about that, to be able to have a gem light up in the middle of the evening would be fantastic, especially when, you know, it's such an important property for downtown Wheeling, I think.
A lot of history there, too.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you open the elevator door, these people slept here, you know? Where did Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe meet? I'm still trying to find that room.
Yeah. And
how many presidents? 11?
At least.
Yeah.
You know, and it has, I mean, it obviously doesn't look that way now. I mean, it's been, it was upgraded, modernized, I guess, is what they would call it. But that original facade would be wonderful if you could find it. But I don't think it's behind anything, and it's not hidden. But yeah, what a great place with history, and some of it's good, some of it's bad. It was the original, that McCarthy guy,
Joe McCarthy?
Joe McCarthy, the communist guy, and he made his first prediction that there were communist people all over the country, and
he did it at that
and
hotel.
He did it at that hotel. Yeah.
You don't have audio of that, do you?
Somebody probably does. I don't personally.
That would be cool. You'd be cool. Okay. Yeah, I'll try and be more patient when they start working on the street. But why are they tearing the brick wall down?
Which brick wall?
This brick wall out here.
The one by the parking lot?
Yeah, right over there. Yeah. They're supposed to tear that down?
I don't know, Bill.
Trees? Then they're going to replant trees? I don't know. Sidewalks?
They are going to have different sidewalks, different trees. I know that involved with the Capitol Theater, they're going to replace that sidewalk. So we're going to take out the Walk of Stars and remount it in a better place inside the theater. And obviously, the Walkway of Stars is kind of cool too, and it's iconic, but it'll have to be moved because they're going to tear all that up as well.
Yeah. All right.
Everything else good?
Yeah, why complain? Nobody cares. Lola cares from 12 to 3, but that's about it, you know?
No, I just helped you fill 25 minutes of talking about not much of anything, Bill.
Yeah, but you got to see a Corvair.
I did.
Yeah. Oh, what did Denny
The
win?
audience didn't.
Oh, that's okay. I'll put it out on, I think I know how to do that. Or I'll have Biffy do it. Biffy does everything. Tell me about Denny Magruder, the award he won that everybody's proud of.
The award that Denny Magruder won is one of those awards that people are given for a lifetime of achievement. And in the public venue business, in that industry, he was recognized as one of the best in the world in that industry.
In the world?
Maybe I pushed it out beyond the Atlantic, but I would say, yeah. I mean, definitely in the United States.
Yeah.
And you know, his long years in the business, I mean, he's been a teacher of other venue operators. Yeah. I mean, he's taught in Australia, and he's just a true asset for us to have.
He will be down the road a tough replacement, too, you know?
Absolutely. And the thing that...
Because he knows everybody in that business.
He does, and his dedication to the actual structures and the buildings themselves and the people that work with him is enviable. I respect a lot of people that take care of their family.
He's loyal, and they're loyal to him.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
That's why they've been together for all these years.
And that's why, you know, I mean, the theater and the arena are operating in a decent way. Yeah. And they're, you know, right now, obviously, they're closed, but in a normal year, he makes it all work.
I got to take back my promise of a couple years ago. If I win the Powerball, she gets $1 million, so she gets the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And then I would bring the Rolling Stones in. I don't know if I could do that now, because they wouldn't be the original ones.
Nope, probably not.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame. You just heard, ladies and gentlemen, the passing away of Charlie Watts, 80 years old. Yeah. Okay. Hey, you always tell me, you have money, Bill, why don't you retire? Why don't you retire, Frank?
Didn't plan that well.
What do you mean you didn't plan that well?
I should have been planning when I was 24.
Oh, okay.
About when I would be 66.
Is that what you are now, 66?
Yeah, just turned 66.
What year
August.
Corvette was that in Route 66, the TV series?
Oh, you asked me too quick. Probably a 66 or 64.
62.
All right.
What color was it?
Red, wasn't it?
I don't know. I had a black and white TV. I like the music. Remember the music?
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay.
What was that one with the kooky, Lend Me Your Comb? Wasn't that a TV series too?
77.
Sunset Strip, that's it.
I can't do that. Lola, can you do that? Can you snap your fingers? What the hell's wrong with us? Oh, yeah, you're going to embarrass both of us now. Okay, ready? 77, Sunset Strip. There's a song, too. Kooky, Give Me Your Comb or something?
Yeah, that's what brought it all up.
Oh, boy, okay. Hey, next time we'll spend more time on local events. I covered all that stuff, too.
All right,
But, you know, I'll be patient. I won't get mad if I can't get in the driveway. I'm just going to get out of my car, keep my car in the middle of the road, and say, go ahead and tow it. That's how I feel.
Remember, you can get much more cooperation with honey as opposed to vinegar. And one more thing.
Hold it. I got to write that down, honey.
You'll know who this is. There was a vice principal at Trinity High School in the late 60s and 70s.
He probably paddled me.
And Mr. Morano.
Yeah, he paddled me.
And he wrote in my yearbook, he says, make your words soft and sweet, because you never know when you're going to have to eat them. I've carried that advice with me for 50 years. So it's good advice.
But I can't always be soft and sweet every time I go on the air or whatever, you know?
But for him to tell that to a 17-year-old,
he was our class advisor.
I must have been pretty mouthy.
Yeah.
I can't recall. But he shouldn't have, he wouldn't
He got
have
in my
written that
face
for
the last reunion. He says, you still have a big head, DeFabio. And I said, not as big as your elephant ears.
Oh, jeez.
Everybody laughed. You know, don't make fun of my head. It's not that big. Well, it's not that little either, or whatever. But Mr. Morano was a good man.
He was.
He was a good man. He was our advisor for many years, my football coach for 2 years, you know.
Yeah, they had that whole group that I liked a lot. I mean, Mr. Bonus and Mr. Shook, and my wife's uncle still hangs out with Mr. Shook, and they make that Italian sausage stuff together. And
Then Cy Lane, the football coach, who lived in the Wheeling area.
Right.
He always would. I would see him because we would go to Elby's, which is now Perkins, and he would always be in there with their fish sandwiches and their food because it was reasonable, and he lived near. And I saw him. And I said, "What are you doing here?" He says, "I just live down the road."
Well, for a while there, even the Washington School District superintendent was from the Wheeling area, and
that's right.
Actually, Bel Air and Martins Ferry north of that.
And there's a bus 2 streets up from me that brings the kids here to Wheeling Central. Okay.
Lindsley too.
Yeah.
All right, boss.
Okay.
Talk to you again.
Patience, okay, and be soft and sweet. Be on the honey level, not a vinegar level. But I like vinegar, you know? Remember the pirate nicknamed Vinegar? Vinegar Ben Mizell.
There we go.
There you go. See what you learned from me today?
Yes.
And you got to see a 65 Corvair.
I can't wait.
All right. We'll continue this down the road, okay? Keep up the good work, Frank. Don't retire.
I won't.
The city needs you.
Thank
You
you.
and Denny Magruder.
I appreciate it.
Okay, you guys are very solid character guys.
Very
and I don't
much
say that to too many people.
Thank you.
All right?
I like that. Bill. Thank
Take
you very
care,
much.
man. Plus, you're a hiller. We'll be right back with Wine and Cheese right after this.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. A 17-month-old girl is in stable but critical condition in a Cincinnati hospital. Lona Thomas, the lone survivor of a double murder-suicide in Kanawha County, where sheriff's investigators believe her dad, 29-year-old D.J. Thomas, shot and killed her mother, 24-year-old Alicia Thomas, and her 5-year-old sister, Myra, at a home in Mink Shoals. Kanawha County Sheriff Mike Rutherford says Lona was protected by her mother.
It appears that the mother was trying to go towards the back door. She was near the back door of the residence, and the baby was in her arms and was partially under her body.
Rutherford says hospital officials seem to think Lona has a good chance of making it. An investigation continues. There are nearly 11,000 active COVID-19 cases in West Virginia today, the latest from the DHHR, confirming 785 new cases today and 1 additional death. Representatives of Suddenlink were on hand at the PSC this past hour and got an earful from frustrated and angry customers like Fred Mixer, who aired out his problems along with many others with the cable company.
Sudden stink, as my neighbors and I called them, are nothing more than pirates. Legislative investigation of Suddenlink's billing practices would certainly be recommended at this time. And a call center in West Virginia with associates that speak clear and understandable English.
There's another hearing this evening. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. A West Virginia basketball legend has passed. Levi Phillips died at his home in Charleston this morning at the age of 69. Phillips, who was a standout basketball player for Charleston High School and then went on to play for the Mountaineers, had suffered from a lengthy illness. He holds the distinction of scoring the first points in the history of the West Virginia University Coliseum during the opening game there in December of 1970. Levi Phillips, dead at 69. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Tony Finau defeated Cameron Smith yesterday in a one-hole playoff to win the Northern Trust in the FedEx Cup playoffs. Both golfers finished regulation at 20 under par, 2 shots better than world number 1 John Rahm, who was third at 18 under. The top 70 golfers of the FedEx Cup season-long standings will now compete at the BMW Championship at Caves Valley Golf Club in Maryland this weekend. In the Little League World Series yesterday, Michigan topped Texas 6-5, South Dakota shut out Oregon 3-0, Ohio got by Louisiana 8-2, Nebraska beat Washington 3-2. There are 2 games on schedule tonight. Texas plays New Jersey, New Hampshire against Oregon. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog.
O'Reilly.
Do you even
even remember the last time you changed your spark plugs? Well, then now's a good time. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase 4 or more select Iridium spark plugs. Put the pep back in your car. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Wheeling Coin and Hobby on 10th Street in Wheeling, next to the Bridge Tavern in downtown Wheeling, wants to buy any and all unwanted gold and silver jewelry. They are paying top dollar for 10, 14, 18, and 22 karat gold plus 925 sterling silver. They also want to buy collectible coins and paper money from before 1933. Wheeling Coin and Hobby is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday. Coin and Hobby, 304-232-8430, and add them on Facebook.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kirchhoff. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Statewide Talkline. I'll have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls on all the big stories affecting West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
Sleep all day, out all night. I know where you're going. I don't think that's acting right. You don't think it's jumping up, falling down. Don't misunderstand me. You don't think I don't know your plan. What you trying to hand
A little bit of James Gang, the lead singer at that time before he went out on his own. Then he joined the Eagles. Joe Walsh, considered maybe top 10 guitar player of all time. Okay. One of the best drummers of all time just passed away. If you haven't heard, Charlie Watts out of the Rolling Stones passed away, 80 years old. And then if, for those of you that remember rock and roll and American Bandstand, Don Everly of the Everly Brothers passed away at 84. So I just passed away, but I came back. You like that, Janet?
As a mouse and a wine connoisseur, huh?
Yeah. And I'm coming down to eat all your cheese.
I know.
You better not have any traps.
Maybe I do. I'll borrow Lola's cat.
I don't want to be eaten by Lola's cat. Hey, Corey, I see you brought Lola's label here.
I did. I brought
Sour
Lola
me,
up
that's
here.
Lola, right?
It is.
Where's
This
her
one's-
picture? Sour me. That's for you, Lola. I don't want it. Oh, yeah, yeah, you'll grab it. Yeah, it'll be gone in a minute. I'm glad you brought this, because you know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. I got to get you guys on here. There you go. Smile, Janet. You're on candid camera. Oh, you two wouldn't remember that. This is the officially opening of the wine and cheese show. What kind of wine do we have?
Yeah. So today brought
Santa
something
Julia?
in. Santa Julia. Yes.
Julia. Oh, I
Yes.
missed that one.
So this is made by the Zuccardi family out of Mendoza, Argentina. 100% Bernarda, so a grape you don't typically see a lot in general, but especially made into a sweet wine. Good.
It's so
Definitely
good.
naturally sweet. I want to say about 7.5% alcohol, but it kind of hits the Deso fans of the world, where you don't
Yeah.
want that super sweet wine by any means.
I
You
haven't
don't
tried
want
it yet.
the
I just want
back
to show
sweetening by any
I like the
means.
dots. Is it
Yeah.
dots? Whatever.
Yeah. In the
I've
past,
never
it
seen
was
so
always-
many fancy labels in my life.
They definitely stick out. And
Yeah.
for the longest time, that was just a plain white label that said Santa Julia Dolce
Yeah.
Tinto on it. So in the past, I want to say 3 or 4 years, they've added the little style to it, the polka dots, the black and gray background with the red accent. So
Wild
definitely
strawberries.
more eye-popping.
Raspberries, strawberries. Wow. It has a subtle, I better taste it first. Dark chocolate taste, is it?
That is really good.
It's so good, yes. For some reason, I feel like you sold me this one before.
I may
It is a
have.
really good one.
Yeah, it's one I like to revisit every
It's
now
a
and then. 'cause
common label.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Product of Argentina, bottled by the cartel? No, I just made that up. Don't get excited, folks. If you're from Argentina, there's no cartel there that I'm aware of. What's the alcohol content? I always like to check this out for
It's
Lola.
about 7.5 is what I looked at the text sheet earlier.
Lola, you like?
Yeah, I think it's really, really
She's
good.
eaten already. Like she hasn't eaten in 3 days. Okay, Lola likes it. Well, we agree. We're 4-0. That's good. Want to tell me the price?
Yeah, $12 a bottle, so great price range. Zuccardi, actually, the past
$12 for
couple
this?
years, $12. But past 2 years, their vineyards have been rated the best vineyards in the world, so they're getting a recognition all over the place. And
Vino
to put a wine out
Argentino.
at that price, at that quality is good.
Wow, whatever. That's good stuff. Yeah. You know who likes Argentine wines?
Who's that?
Troy Polamalu.
Oh, really?
And wines from Australia.
Okay.
You know, must be something, about the A's, right?
Well, lots of great wines out of both places. There.
Yeah.
I'm a big Argentine
You have Australia
fan.
wines?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely some Australian. I'm a Shiraz fan, Grenache fan, and they grow really good Shiraz and Grenache in Australia.
You
so.
just confused me with Grenache, and horseradish. I don't know. Okay, Janet, what goes with this?
Well, I brought you a nice fruit cup that would go really well with this wine today.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not sure about your horseradish spread that I brought you also, but you could try it. It might complement it.
Probably wouldn't be bad. I mean, whenever you get those rich wines, it's always good to have something that has a little bit of spice
It
to
does,
it. So I
yes.
think that would.
Now, this will go with these crackers, right?
Yes, sir, it will.
I love these. I still have some from the last time you were here.
Okay.
I say, you know what? I put peanut butter on them. That's not bad either.
No, that's really good.
I ought to try peanut butter and jelly or whatever. Yeah, so. You have any? You won't be here next week?
Probably won't be here next week. No.
So you try and be here, Janet.
I will totally try, yes.
You totally try?
I will.
Okay.
We're a little shorthanded too, so
Okay. I'll come down and help you.
it's okay.
I'll make sure I have a bottle of wine for you.
Bring the
guys,
radio to me, right?
Yeah.
No.
No, I want to work,
Okay.
Yeah, I want to sell good food. Can you start me out at like $22 an hour or something?
I don't know, that's a little difficult.
Okay. How about all the cheese I can eat? No, you'd lose money there too.
Yes, I would.
Or all the prosciutto. Oh, yeah.
Might be worst off with that.
Yeah. I do get my prosciutto like at Sheets. It comes with a little mozzarella stick.
Like a
It's pretty good.
cheese stick
But
in
I
the
gotta
center
eat,
of
I
it,
gotta eat
yeah.
about 4 of them.
Oh,
you
we
know?
can make those for you, absolutely.
You can make them?
I can, put them in a container for you, why not?
Okay.
Put some provolone or mozzarella in there, or something spicy like habanero cheese wrapped up in that prosciutto. It'll be really good.
Yeah. Well, they have like some peach flavored ones too. It tastes awful. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where they're made, but it's tempting when you're driving in, you don't have breakfast, so whatever. Then I get blueberry muffins. Today I went to 3 different places just to get a cup of coffee. I've yet to get a cup of coffee. So whatever. I've been drinking water, now I got wine. So then I got to do a ball game, and it's warm out there. So, but that's okay. That's okay. So you won't be here next, where are you leaving? You going to a wine show or something?
No wine show this week. No, I'm just going to get away for a few days and head up to New York probably. No, the big wine show that I participate in every year is coming up the end of October, though. So after, I want to say it's Halloween week, and after that I'll have a lot of new stuff to bring down and showcase. And tell
Can you take
guys
Lola
about.
with you? I'd like to get her out of here.
I think she'd have a
Yeah,
blast.
she
up
could be
there.
a sampler. She could try like everything.
Yes.
And not feel it.
You know what? And I've tried to do that in the past, and it usually gets you in a little bad spot. So I recommend not trying everything. But no, it's fun.
Is this a
over in
big event thing?
Shepherdstown. It is. So it's the big Country Vintner Wine Boat Trade Show, and
Where is it?
they have over in Shepherdstown. They do it the
Where's
Bavarian
Shepherdstown?
Inn every year. It's Eastern Panhandle, about less than an hour from DC. So you're getting over there.
Okay, I got GPS, but I'd still lose it.
It's nice where they have about 300 to 400 wines, and you just try as many as you can in the 4 or 5 hours you're there. So
You'll be reading and
it's a
taking
blast.
pictures of a lot of labels, huh?
Well, you take lots of breaks in between, but yeah, definitely. I mean, you definitely pay attention and try to dissect the wines.
Why
There's
don't you
a
take
lot of
Janet's
strategy.
cheeses and make some money? Sell cheeses with the wine.
Fun. I don't know if the Bavarian Inn would like that too much, but I'll give it a shot. I'll try.
Janet, you know, she
I'm
knows-
sure somebody will be there set up with some appetizers of some sort. They would almost have
Oh,
to be.
yeah, oh, yeah.
They set up a
So
great
what do we have to prepare for now? Labor Day?
Labor Day's the next,
Is
yes.
is it Monday?
Next,
No, Monday after.
next Monday, yes.
Not next Monday, Monday
Right,
after.
it's like the 6th or the 7th.
Yeah. So people, this is probably the last time to grill, have
Right.
parties,
Fall's coming.
and, get those trays ready. But you know what started last week? Football.
Football did, yes. We're starting our football cheese balls already.
Already?
And when the phone rang and someone ordered one, I'm thinking, what? Did football start already? The summer flew by.
Yeah, it started last
so
week. We
I
had
know
to-
that high school definitely did too,
Yeah.
so.
And then you got, West Virginia, West Liberty, Bethany,
Right.
Wheeling
All the
University.
preseason NFL games and everything
People need
too.
those party trays,
They do.
you know?
Need that finger food.
Oh, yeah. Good finger food, too. Okay. So should people order them? I know we always say, should people like order in advance? Like give you
The
a day?
cheese balls?
Yeah.
Yeah, we recommend a
And the
day in
cheese
advance.
trays. 304-232-0882.
Right.
It's amazing how I remember that.
Right. Usually we can prepare those in the same day, the cheese platters.
What if you're
cheese and meat
shorthanded?
plates.
I could
Oh,
come
well,
down, I can make a party.
We make it work somehow.
I can make a party tray, right, Lola? Yeah, put a little bit of that, but yeah, photo, yeah, how about that? Oh, we need 4 slices of pepperoni there. Okay, no. When I get done with it, it wouldn't look like a football or whatever, but it'd be good. It would be good. Yeah, maybe next time, if I tell you ahead of time, maybe you could make me some of those prosciutto rolls.
Sure can, yes.
You know?
hmm
You would put mozzarella? Or
Whatever
provolone?
kind of cheese you want in it.
Okay, yeah. I just love those little things, but you gotta
I
buy
know,
like
they're really
4 of them.
good.
Yeah.
See, now I would want a dipping mustard with it too, like a hot pepper
You would?
mustard or something, a honey mustard. Oh, yeah.
A honey mustard with that? With
That would
prosciutto?
be really good.
Oh, I'll try it. You can give me one of those little things? with it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Now this, what's this go? Crackers?
That's the
Basically
horseradish spread, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people are just buying a box of crackers with it. A lot of people are putting it on their charcuterie boards because even the charcuteries have like spreadable cheeses and everything. I mean, you actually prepare your plate from the charcuterie board and the cheese and cracker spreads are there.
Yeah, we got a fridge at the Wild Things. This will be my dinner tonight. Because I have access to food, but is food not good for me?
Fruit.
The burgers,
Fruit is
the
good for you.
nachos.
And it's so hot. It's hard to eat anything when it's this warm.
Yeah, yeah. But I could put away
Fruit
watermelon.
and salads, that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I could put
And
away
a cold
watermelon.
beer.
Whoa! You know, she jumped out of her chair. Did she say beer?
A cold beer.
Yeah, well, yeah, ice cold beer. Yeah, nothing like it, nothing like it. The wine is very good. We agree
good.
on this.
Good.
Yeah. And now, explain what Lola got.
Yeah, so I actually poured in a few
Wait,
different
should we
beers.
put it on Facebook?
Yeah, we can, definitely.
Yeah.
So this is made by Duclaw. I
Yo,
know
is that
I've,
cold?
Yeah, out of Baltimore. But I know I've talked about the Duclaw beers a lot, and this is part of their Sour Me series. So I actually brought 4 new beers in from from that brewery this week. But this is their Sour Me Mimosa, brewed with orange juice and Chardonnay grape juice. Imperial sour too, so just a warning, it's 9.3%.
So you think she'll like it?
I think she's going to love it.
Well, I think I'm going to drink it. No, I couldn't. I would do that to her.
You wouldn't like it. I don't think, you don't like sour.
No, I don't.
think
I
so
don't.
either.
See,
But-
now there's another fancy label. Mimosa.
Mimosa.
Imperial
Mimosa.
Sour Ale. Whoa, Lola, 9.3% alcohol.
And that's the big thing about this. Typically, sour ales are lightly fermented, so you only get about 4 to 4.5% alcohol out of them. So this being the imperial version, I'm sure the Chardonnay juice helped kick up that alcohol percentage in itself too. So yeah, this was one of the new ones to headline, and I knew she'd be excited about that. But
You buy this separately, 6-pack, 4-pack?
4-packs, yeah. They come
And how much is that?
4 pints. They're $11.99. All the club
That's
beers
not
I
bad.
have.
That's not
That
bad.
is not bad at
That's
all.
like $3 a
Especially for the
can.
Imperial,
Yeah.
especially for the Imperial.
And I understand Lola wrote this at the bottom. Craft be cherished, rules be damned.
Yeah.
She wrote it.
I like that.
Those
Yeah.
are words to live by.
They are. They are. Another one people are going to be excited about that they just made. They have a series called the Pastryarchy, and they just did a root beer float beer. So it's an imperial brown ale, aged with the vanilla beans and the root beer.
I like root
flavor
beer
coming in through it.
floats. Yeah.
So I think that'll be good in itself. They did a lemonade stand hopped sour, so it's get that kind of integration of an IPA and a sour ale together, but they did brew it in with the lemon, so you get the touch of tartness out of it too. Not much by any means.
Here,
And
this is
then
ice
they
cold. Give that back to
did-
Lola. There you go.
That's definitely my tonight drink when I get
Oh,
home.
no, it'll be done by 5, Lola.
Well, another one I'll be curious is I don't know if you do a lot of the IPAs or not, and I started to bring you one just to check out, but they did a pina colada IPA too called Getaway Message. It's a hazy IPA, but it's brewed with monk fruit, pineapple, and toasted coconut flakes.
I'd like to try
think
that.
that's going to be a little oddball in
Monk
itself, too.
fruit?
Monk fruit. Yeah, I've never had monk fruit, so but I'm sure it'll have that tropical flavor like
Yeah,
the
okay.
pineapples and the coconut and things like that.
See,
It's
these are
amazing
all
what you can do with
suggestions
fruits.
For vacation beers on
They
the
are.
beach.
Yes.
And I think rearing down on summer now, we're getting limited on the hot days, so these are going to be a perfect way to go into the fall and transition into our pumpkin and Oktoberfest beers. And
No pumpkin spice.
No
pumpkin spice.
I did get my first pumpkin product in this past week, Ace Pumpkin Cider, and I pre-ordered, I want to say in March, or else I wouldn't have pulled it in so soon. But that's something people have really been excited about to see, and all kinds of new beers coming into the shop. I pulled in about 6 or 7 new Cabernets from California and some new Shards too. So we're coming down and peeking at the new stuff.
Well, you know, that cider, okay, I will go pumpkin spice cider.
Well, and the nice
Not
thing about
latte,
Ace,
all that others.
well, by memory, I don't think it's very pumpkin spiced. I want to say there's lots of pumpkin flavor, but not as much of the cinnamon and the nutmeg and all that stuff. So that kind of throws you off a little. Yeah, I'm not a pumpkin spice flavor myself. It's just not me.
No, and the Dunkin' Donuts came out with their pumpkin spice latte last week, and now Starbucks is coming out with theirs this week. It's like, seriously, people, it's 95 degrees outside.
It is,
the hottest
definitely.
week of the year so far.
I know, for real.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
All right, folks, football. We got football coming up this weekend. We've got the Cleveland Browns. We carry West Virginia. We carry Ohio State. So we know you like to party. Even if you don't go to the stadiums, you know, you can have your own party in your driveway with all your friends. And you don't want to do any work. You just want to eat, drink, and play, okay? After you drink, you want to play. You want to do something. But call Valley Cheese, all right? They'll make you the tray. Anything you want, any size. And the footballs come in what, 2 sizes?
There is a small and a large size, yes.
The small can feed 4 or 5, right?
Small feeds about 8 people.
What's
as
the
long
big
as you
one?
have, that's probably 15 to 20.
Wow.
So it's like a 2.5-pound cheese ball. It's huge.
So
But
if
it's so
Howard
good.
Mon-
It
if
tastes like
Howard
pepperoni
Monroe-
pizza.
If Howard Monroe and I had a party, you'd have to have the big one for him. right?
Probably,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Howard likes to eat. Howard probably, does Howard drink wine, Lola? I don't know. I haven't even seen the guy for a while. Howard, if you're listening, text me if you drink wine, okay? We'll have a toast to Howard. How's that? To Howard Monroe. He's the best. Just ask him. Oh, Howard would like this. How can you not like this
I
wine?
know, it's so good. It's like grape juice.
Yeah.
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 It's
that's
really
what it
good.
tastes like.
Corey. Yeah, go ahead, give it to me. It'll sit in my car because I'm going right to the ballpark.
Oh,
Whatever.
you can't have that.
No.
No.
No, but I do.
I waste a good bottle sitting there getting warm and bubbly.
Will this horseradish last me till I get to Washington?
It will, yes,
Okay,
definitely.
I'll put it in the refrigerator in Washington.
Mhm.
All right, you should see the stuff those kids put in the refrigerator. Oh, junk. Yeah. Slim Jims and stuff. Ugh.
See, that's why you put healthy stuff in there and nobody will touch
Yeah.
it.
Nobody will touch horseradish.
No, probably not.
Nobody.
That's a really good
You know-
cheddar spread, though.
You know, I have 5 of them working. Anybody want any horseradish dip? Huh? Oh, I guess not. I'll eat it myself. You guys are great. So you have a good trip to New York,
thank you.
wherever you're going, and hopefully I'll see you.
See you next week.
Okay? Thanks for everything. Lola thanks you.
Yes, I do. I thank you both.
Look at her. You ought to see her when she has a lot of this. Yeah, she's pleasant. I'm pleasant. Hopefully you're pleasant. From the words of Frank O'Brien, be soft and sweet. Be honey and not vinegar. That's going to be hard for me to do. We'll be right back with hour number 333 on The Variety Show.
Give us the nice bright colors. Give us the greens of summers. Makes you think all the world's a sunny day. Oh yeah, I got a Nikon camera. I love to take a photograph. So mama, don't take my Kodachrome away.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. At the White House this hour, President Biden will update Americans on the situation in Afghanistan, including keeping the deadline for U.S. troops and Americans to be out. That as the Taliban vows to block crowds racing to Kabul's airport to catch flights to safety. ABC's Louis Martinez has more.
We're continuing to see those crowds gathered outside of the airport trying to get in, clutching the very paperwork that would allow them in, who are not being allowed in because let's say there are not enough consular officials to let them in. Now, with this deadline of August 31st, President Biden has indicated he might be flexible on that date, but we're seeing the Taliban be firm, no on August 31st.
Republicans who received a confidential briefing about U.S. operations in Afghanistan are ratcheting up criticism. Congressman Michael McCall accusing the president of abandoning people if he does not extend the deadline.
It will be a stain on this presidency, and particularly after the decision made today and what we heard today, he will have blood on his hands. People are going to die, and they're going to be left behind.
The COVID-19 response team at a briefing today once urged Americans to get vaccinated, saying those who were once holding out for full authorization now have an option of the Pfizer vaccine, which the FDA approved yesterday. Coordinator Jeff Zients says vaccinations are on the rise.
In the face of the Delta variant, more and more Americans are stepping up each day to get vaccinated.
He was the drummer of the Rolling Stones for decades. Today, word Charlie Watts has died.
Charlie Watts kept time for one of the most influential rock bands in history. He joined the Rolling Stones in 1963 and stayed alongside Mick Jagger and Keith Richards for 6 decades. Seen as a steadying force for the Stones, Watts brought groove rather than flair.
ABC's Mark Remillard. You're listening to ABC News.
You take steps to stay healthy when at the pharmacy picking up vitamins or filling a prescription.
May I help you?
Take another healthy step right now and ask the pharmacist how Prevnar 13 can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease. If you're 65 or older, a trip to the pharmacy is a lot more pleasant than a trip to the hospital because of pneumococcal pneumonia. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13-valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Stop by the pharmacy today and ask about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
The number of unruly airline passengers on the rise.
In the past week, the FAA getting reports of 99 more unruly passengers whose cases were so egregious they made it all the way to the FAA. There have now been just shy of 4,000 unruly passenger reports this year. Almost 3,000 of those involved passengers refusing to wear a mask on board, and then they escalated. Last week, the FAA announced a batch of fines against passengers in the tens of thousands of dollars each.
ABC's Alex Stone. The Vatican announcing a controversial Spanish bishop is stepping down.
The Pope has accepted the resignation of Spanish Bishop Xavier Novel Gomá after he said paternal neglect made men gay. Gomá has long made homophobic comments and also made statements in favor of independence of the Spanish region of Catalan. Last week, Francis removed Brazilian Bishop Tomé Ferreira da Silva when an explicit video of him having gay sex went viral. Catholic Church sexual abuse survivors say the Brazilian bishop had been under investigation by the church for abuse and sexting with minors since 2015, with no action taken until the video leaked. Megan Williams, ABC News, Rome.
McDonald's says it's pulled milkshakes from the menu in all of its UK restaurants. That because of a supply problem stemming from a shortage of truck drivers. This is the latest in a series of shortages in Britain blamed on a combination of Brexit and the coronavirus pandemic. This is ABC News.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. So a friend told me about Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and his exact words were, "It changed my life." I used to spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to remove tomato sauce from inside our microwave and soap scum off the bathtub. It's like seriously magic, and my secret weapon for cleaning the kitchen, bathroom, doors and walls, and even keeping my sneakers clean. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Greatest invention ever. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, the unicorn of cleaning.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
This is ONN.
On the Ohio News Network, I'm Daniel Barnett. Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus has provided an update on COVID cases at that facility. ONN's Dave James reports.
Dr. Rustin Morse is the hospital's chief medical officer. He says across all illnesses, there are 366 patients.
12 of whom have tested positive for COVID, 3 of whom are in the intensive care unit, and 1 is on a life-sustaining supporting ventilator.
Dr. Morse says there were no more than 1 or 2 kids hospitalized with COVID early in the month. He says he's a proponent of mask wearing for kids in all grades at school, especially those under age 12 who can't get a vaccine. Dave James, ONN News.
And a house exploded last night in the northwestern corner of the state, very near the Indiana and Michigan state lines. Tatiana Cash with affiliate station WTOL-TV in Toledo reports.
In Williams County, the county coroner said that 1 man is dead following this house explosion. The Northwest Township Fire Department responded to the scene sometime before 6 p.m., and there was little left from this explosion. Again, the coroner's office is reporting that 1 man is dead and that his significant other has actually suffered non-life-threatening injuries. At this time, there is no word yet on what has caused this explosion. I'm Tatiana Cash.
For a look at state news anytime, visit ONNradio.com. I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
Live and local talk is just around the corner. Stay right here on The Watchdog.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there is one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
America's infrastructure connects our communities and makes our nation work. These systems are vital to our everyday lives and Ohio's economy. That's why Senator Rob Portman led the way in passing legislation that makes critical investments in Ohio's roads, bridges, and electricity systems. Critical investments in the infrastructure that makes America and Ohio great. Here's Senator Portman on C-SPAN.
Because it is landmark and needed legislation in fixing our nation's roads, bridges, railroads, our ports, our waterways, our electrical grid, our broadband network, and more. It will be a lasting bipartisan achievement to help the people we represent.
Repairing our roads and bridges, upgrading electrical systems, and increasing access to information systems is good for our families, good for America, and good for our future. Thank you, Senator Portman, for leading the way on a real infrastructure plan that rebuilds America and invests in Ohio. Thank you for voting to invest in us. Learn more at let'sinvestinus.com. Paid for by Citizens for Responsible Energy Solutions.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota pre-owned super sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota pre-owned super sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the storm tracker Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Tuesday. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon, a hot one, a high near 91, overnight low of 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. The clouds we do have around for your Wednesday break for plenty of sunshine with temperatures near 93 for the daytime high. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
Was so much colder then. My father was a soldier then, and times were very hard when I was young. When I was young, I smoked my first cigarette at 10. And for girls, I had a bad yen, and I had quite a ball when I was young. When I was young, it was more important. More painful, and laughter much louder, yeah. When I was young. She was brown and I was pretty green, and I learned quite a lot when I was young. When I was young.
Eric Burden of the Animals used to party a lot with Rolling Stones. Well, I bring that up because I'm sure he's not feeling very good today. No one in the music business feeling very good with the loss of a legendary drummer, Charlie Watts of the Stones, passed away. He was 80 years old. He'd been with the Stones, 6 decades? I think he started with them in the summer of '63. I did not like the Stones. I didn't like the way they looked. I didn't like their music, and then I ended up liking them more than any other group, not named Chicago or Three Dog Night. But I always remember when the Stones were on TV. Is the guy alive and doing the drums? You know, he didn't smile or anything, but he just did his job, you know. I'm wondering, Lola, you think the concert in Pittsburgh in October will be canceled?
No,
Okay,
no.
all right,
They got other ones that can step in.
yep. No. Strange, real strange. You know, we carry Ohio State football, and I'm reading this story about Ohio State, Wisconsin are Big Ten favorites. I knew Wisconsin had about 20-some lettermen coming back, but I didn't think they would be that good where they could overtake Ohio State. You know, nobody's been able to do that for a number of years. Ohio State's always in the talk of, you know, the big Final Four or whatever, and they got crushed by Alabama last year. And this year, you know, I don't know how good he is. I should ask one of the experts here on Friday that's a big Ohio State, a lot of Ohio State Buckeye fans, C.J. Stroud. He is a freshman, and he's a starting quarterback. He's supposed to be the real deal. Well, anybody goes to Ohio State has to be a real deal, or else they wouldn't go to Ohio State. But I've already marked my calendars for some key games, okay? Key games involving Ohio State, Penn State. I got to mention Penn State because they're always good. Wisconsin, Iowa. How about this? Ohio State at Minnesota, September 2nd. The Gophers have practically everybody coming back. They upset a couple of people. They seem to upset people every year. That would not be a good start for Ohio State to go to Minnesota and get bitten by a Gopher. Penn State at Wisconsin. It's going to be a big game early. That's on September 4th. Wisconsin, top 25 team. Penn State, top 25 team. So early, we got all of these great matchups where somebody, a good team, is going to be 0-1 after one game. Oregon's a good team. Unfortunately, Oregon has to cross the country and play at Buckeye Stadium, where the visiting team hardly ever wins. Washington, another good team, expected to be in the postseason at a high-ranking bowl, like a Rose Bowl or whatever. They play at Michigan September 11th. Ooh, September 11th, 9/11. Same with Ohio State and Oregon. Okay? And, you know, Wisconsin, Notre Dame will be a good one. That's going to be held not in South Bend, Soldier Field in Chicago. Why? Because they have about 9,000 more seats than the one in South Bend. Probably comes down to money, whatever. Ohio State at Indiana will be an excellent one. And, of course, the big one, maybe his job will be on the line again, Mr. Harbaugh. Ohio State at Michigan, November 26th. November 27th, sorry. He's what, 0 for 6 against Ohio State, Lola? Coach Harbaugh? Yeah. He's due to win. He wins, he'll be the next governor of Michigan. That's how much they take pride in Michigan football, especially when, you know, they hate, and I'm sure Ohio State hates Michigan too. It's a great rivalry, though, you know? When you had Bo Schembechler and Woody Hayes, I mean, long list of head coaches that were excellent, teams that were excellent, you know? But Ohio State at Michigan, November 27th, that's a must-watch, okay? The experts are picking, in this order, your top three: Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, Penn State 3. That's the East. In the West, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota. The champion, of course, the Buckeyes of Ohio State. So stay tuned, all right? That's an exciting conference. You know, it beats that. Well, now you got Texas and Oklahoma leaving for SEC down the road. That's the Big 12. But the Big 12 is very competitive. So for a couple of more years until Texas and Oklahoma moves to the SEC, it'll be very competitive. And, of course, West Virginia is always in the mix, all right? A team which may surprise a lot of people in the Big 10. Even if you have brains, you probably couldn't afford to go to Northwestern unless you're an athlete. Northwestern, you know, they made a surprise run to the Big Ten championship last year. Matter of fact, I think I bet on them and lost, okay? Two of their players were taken in the first round of the NFL draft, so they have the talent to go with all the students with all the brains. Plus, I like their uniforms. So that's it as we look at the East and the West of the Big Ten. So, and all those rumors about the Big Ten joining the ACC and maybe the Big 12, that's hogwash. I don't think that'll happen. But don't take it for granted that I said it. On this date, you know, Sean Casey, the former Reds, former Tiger, former Pirate, first guy to hit a home run out of PNC Park. He was wearing a Reds uniform. He's in on this date, and I remember this, and I don't think it's going to happen again. On this date, August 24th, 2006, Detroit Tigers, Sean Casey probably became the first player in baseball history to ground out to left field. No, I'm not drunk and I'm not high, not yet. The unique 5-7-3 play is the result of Casey starting to head back to the dugout, believing he was robbed of a base hit when the ball actually glanced off of Chicago White Sox third baseman Joe Creda's glove, reaching left fielder Pablo Osuna, who threw to first base, just beating Casey to the bag. And if you can watch the video, Casey is not a happy trooper as he's walking back to the dugout. Oh, boy. I might have to tease him about that on Saturday when it's Sean Casey Day. Yeah, I probably would have made the same mistake. You know, you're thinking the ball was caught, and it went, past the glove of the infielder, and boom. He will be there Saturday for he works with a lot of volunteers, spending a lot of time with the Miracle League of South Hills, okay? And I think he did some work in the Miracle League of Wheeling. I'm not sure, not too long ago, but I know he was in Wheeling, and he's been on this talk show, and I'm trying to get him on. In 1968, the rookie-filled Cincinnati Bengals football team made their debut in the National Football League. They defeated the Steelers 19-3 in an exhibition game. The game was not played in Cincinnati. It was not played in Pittsburgh. Are you listening, West Virginia? Almost 12,000 watched the Bengals beat the Steelers 19-3 in Morgantown, West Virginia. Though only a preseason game, it was the first win for the Bengals as an expansion AFL franchise. Okay? Yeah, they were an expansion team. I don't want to see the city of Buffalo, known for wings, okay? Good goaltending in the past from their Sabres. Of course, they stink now. But if the city fathers can come up with some money, and of course the taxpayers come up with some money, they want to build a brand new football field next to the old Bill Stadium, which I liked. There was a lot of parking. Being that I have a preference about food, their press box food, maybe one of the best in the National Football League, okay? I don't want them to move. There are places they can go. I don't want them to move. Roger Goodell, the godfather of the NFL, although his bosses are the owners, he said, there's no way we want to lose Buffalo. Remember, before they were in the NFL, they were one of the best franchises in the old AFL. All right? I remember when they went to, I think, a couple of AFL championship games. And I think a West Virginia running back was a star for a number of years. Braxton, okay? There was a couple of people there from West Virginia that played for Buffalo. But even though they have never won a Super Bowl, and I don't think maybe they beat the San Diego Chargers in the AFL title game in '64 because I have that program. I got to go look it up. It's a franchise team. Always sold out. I mean, what else are you going to do in Buffalo on a Sunday afternoon? 5 feet of snow. You go to a football game. That's what they do up there, and eat a lot of wings. Have a lot of fun. Been there on a number of Steeler trips, because that's an easy drive. Instead of getting on a plane, you're up in the air for a while. By the time you land, you may as well just drive, just like going to Cleveland. I used to be on the team flight to Cleveland. You buckle your seatbelts, and next thing you know, we're ready to land. Wait a minute, where's the food? So we drive up. And now the Steelers take a bus. Save some money doing that. But Buffalo is a great sports town. Unfortunately, though the baseball team for a number of years, the AAA team was very good. I think they were called the Bisons, too. How many Bisons are out there? Greg Brown, who's a regular guest here, the voice of the Pirates, spent 3 years as a broadcaster there for the Buffalo Bills. He went to 4 Super Bowls. He ended up with 4 rings, but they were AFC championship rings because the Bills were 0 for 4 in 4 straight Super Bowls, which will never be done again. And he also was the voice of the, I think it was the Buffalo Sabres. Not the Buffalo Sabres, the Buffalo Bisons. Because at home I have a Tim Wakefield bobblehead when he was a baseball player in Buffalo. It was a AAA affiliate. And then the rest is history. He was an outfielder at one time. Jim Leland said, nah, we don't want you at first base or in the outfield, but I understand you can throw the knuckleball. And Wakefield's eyes lit up. And I know Jim Leland was looking forward to every 4 days we got this guy, one of few to throw a knuckleball. You either hit a short fly, or you strike out, or you hit a home run. And Tim Wakefield, for years, was the best. And who taught him to make sure that it flutters like it does? Okay, you could swing 3 times and the ball hasn't landed in the catcher's mitt. His teachers were local guys named Joe and Phil Negro. And that is the rest of the story. Sorry, Walter Cronkite. You can't sue me because you're not around, and I like that line. But that was cool stuff. Tim Wakefield, and I'll never forget when Aaron Boone hit that home run in Game 7 of the 2003 playoffs, the look on Tim Wakefield's face. And I think he knew it was gone. And the Yankees celebrated. Yeah, they beat the hated Red Sox. But next year, and I remember Joe Torre, after the Red Sox came back being down 3, and they won 4 in a row, Joe Torre in a press conference after the game, instead of making excuses, he said, I do feel good for Tim Wakefield because last year we got him. This year he got us. So, there's that fraternity of love in baseball. It's in all sports, It's a fraternity. It's a team sport. It's brotherhood, But that's the Tim Wakefield story. And it was Jim Leland, when Wakefield was a Pirate, said, you know what? You're going to pitch, my friend. And if you throw the knuckleball, you could go 15 innings, I tried doing that. Could you throw a knuckleball, Lola?
No, Bill, I don't think I could.
Yeah. Well, we both got bad hands and fingers, but that's a tough thing to do. The Red Sox had a good guy, went to the All-Star game, and then next year he was out of baseball, okay? But Joe and Phil Negro, they were the best. And they took a young man aside and made him a better knuckleball thrower, Tim Wakefield. Another class act. I hated it when he left Pittsburgh. I really did. But he went to bigger, better things. He got I think he got 2 championship rings with the Boston Red Sox. Okay, that's the end of that. Let's see, where are the Pirates? Are they? Arizona. I sent my reports this morning. Arizona had the worst record in National League. I thought they had the worst record in Major League Baseball. They do. So I should have said MLB. They're the worst. Because they're 42 and 83. Boy, is that awful. 38 and a half games out. All right? The Pirates, no better. A couple games better. 44 and 80. Then in the American League, you got a couple of teams that suck. Oh. Texas Rangers are 43 and 81. Minnesota, 54 and 70. Oh, Baltimore. They got the worst record in the American League. So I was right this morning when I said National League. I got it right. Baltimore. Biff, are you listening? Oh, he's not here. He's out probably golfing or cutting the grass. Biff's Baltimore Orioles, 38 and 85. How many season ticket holders, A, are left? How many season ticket holders in Baltimore, which is a beautiful stadium? I've gone there a couple of times. Boog Powell has maybe the best ribs in Maryland. You're going to pay for it, but if you like ribs, you don't care about the price. How many season ticket holders this year are going to renew next year? Because they're not going to get any better. They don't spend money there either. The owners have alligator arms. 38 and 85. They could lose 112 games this year. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. You want to see good baseball, winning baseball? Come and say, no, don't come up and say hello to me in the press box. Too many people do that and I get mixed up. What you do, you take the family, 4-pack, there's all kinds of deals. Kids eat free on Sundays when they're home. The kids get, if you're under 12, you get a free ticket, you get a free food. There's always a ton of giveaways. So if you got a couple of kids and they're under 12, all you got to do is worry about yourself and whoever's with you, husband or wife. It's a great deal. You go to the concession stand. If you've ever been to PNC Park, you know you have to go to the ATM machine because everything's expensive, from water to hot dogs to Permane Brothers sandwiches. All that stuff's good. But if you got a family, it's a little bit expensive. And you're not going to watch a good baseball team. I don't know what they had there last night. Hold on. This paper's a late edition. I want to say 7,800 because I thought I heard Greg Brown or somebody mention that. But when I went to the St. Louis Cardinals game, there were more St. Louis fans there because I sat in the middle of them. I was the only person there not wearing a St. Louis Cardinal jersey. Those fans, they travel well. Why? They like their Cardinals. There wasn't 7,000 there. And I remember going to the concession stands, and I took a little walk around, and I think I mentioned this before, last Friday, there was nobody buying food because there's nobody in the ballpark. I talked to one concession guy, okay, and he told me he had to lay off about 6 people. You got to lay off people because there's no people to be served. How sad is that? So I parked about 5 blocks away because I couldn't get a free parking pass, so I paid $15. I can write it off because I itemize. Yeah, I do. I think I do something smart. Well, I got a smart accountant. So I'm checking all these restaurants, Lola. All of my favorite restaurants, they're all empty. All empty. Usually go in there, have a beer with somebody, or stand in line, waiting for a sandwich. All empty. And I talked to a couple of owners. It's simple. No fans, and nobody wants to work. But I hear that everywhere I go. Nobody wants to work. But you know what? Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, there are 2 people that can't wait to work. There are 2 people that can't wait to work. Because we're here from...
You're waiting for a response.
I want it to be
Move
negative. I want it to be negative. I got that. All right. Okay. What are your Tigers? Are they still losing?
They're 13 out, and they're 3 behind Cleveland.
Wait a minute. They're only 6 games under 500. When did this happen?
They've been reasonably good. Had
Yeah.
they started the season out
Yeah.
better, they would not be caught in this position that they're in now.
Yeah.
We just keep trading back and forth with Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, they're at St.
I
Louis
mean,
tonight.
I am not. I am not overly disappointed.
No.
They are not, clearly not as bad as they were last year.
No.
And the year before, and the year before that.
60
and
and
I
66.
they've got some really good young players
They
that
sure
are
do.
coming along. And,
They sure do.
I am optimistic for the 22-23
And I just got this thing on MLB.com. Looks like a sellout crowd in St. Louis. Well, they usually get 35, 40,000 a game. Why is it almost a sellout crowd? Because Detroit's in town. And you know who's leading the pack in Detroit on that team? Miggy. He'll get a standing ovation from the best baseball fans in baseball, the St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah, those fans.
That's a beautiful, beautiful park.
Yes, it is. Great fans.
That parrot is dumb.
They don't care who you are.
Parrot.
Yeah. They got a parrot?
Don't they? They got, no, a cardinal. They got some bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. He thinks he's cute.
Yeah, you're right.
He does. He tried to put my head in his mouth and stuff. And it was, seriously, dude.
Yeah.
But we were down on the field, so I really couldn't deck it.
Is this the new stadium?
I don't know. That's like 10 years ago or better. Longer than that.
That might have been the old Busch Stadium. Did you go up in the rail in St. Louis?
Up in the arch?
Yeah.
No, because I wouldn't get out of bed. I had been out the night before. And Mark called me and said, aren't you going with us? And I'm like, oh, don't talk so loud.
Oh, you did some heavy drinking before after the game?
We were there for a game.
Oh, okay.
Greyhounds game.
Okay. I thought, sure, if you were there, you'd go up in the railing.
No. And it's an arch, not a rail.
Arch, okay. Half of a McDonald's arch. Okay.
But, Mark would get everybody to do that kind of stuff. And no, we had all been out. In fact, we had like 10 people in a little Ford Fiesta. It was funny.
Wow. Quote of the day comes from one of the greatest broadcasters ever. Thank you, Bob Prince, for a long time ago. I think it was a playoff game with the Dodgers in '75 that he introduced me to Mr. Vin Scully. And I think I wet my pants. Here's a great quote from Mr. Scully, the voice of the Dodgers for a number of decades. Losing feels worse than winning feels good. Let me think about that. Losing feels, yep, he's right. He's right. Now you talk one of the iconic announcers of all time. Humble, yeah. All right, we got to take a break, and we'll be back for the final segment. We'll go over the oldies calendar, and maybe if he has time, because I think they had a little luncheon for him, Denny Magruder may join us. May not. 50-50. I'm betting he will. All right, if you just checked in, The rock and roll world, entertainment world, lost a good one. Drummer Charlie Watts passed away at age 80, okay? But the Stones will still rock on. And we're going to rock on after we take a break. We are the variety show on the Watchdog. I'm Bill. Over there is Lola. And yes, we are, if you're ever asking. Are you really odd? Yeah, we are the odd couple. And we'll be right back.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. A 17-month-old girl is in stable but critical condition in a Cincinnati hospital. Lona Thomas, the lone survivor of a double murder-suicide in Kanawha County, where sheriff's investigators believe her dad, 29-year-old D.J. Thomas, shot and killed her mother, 24-year-old Alicia Thomas, and her 5-year-old sister, Myra, at a home in Mink Shoals. Kanawha County Sheriff Mike Rutherford says Lona was protected by her mother.
It appears that the mother was trying to go towards the back door. She was near the back door of the residence, and the baby was in her arms and was partially under her body.
Rutherford says hospital officials seem to think Lona has a good chance of making it, and investigation continues. There are nearly 11,000 active COVID-19 cases in West Virginia today, the latest from the DHHR, confirming 785 new cases today and one additional death. Representatives of Suddenlink were on hand at the PSC this past hour and got an earful from frustrated and angry customers like Fred Mixer, who aired out his problems along with many others with the cable company.
Sudden stink, as my neighbors and I called them, are nothing more than pirates. Legislative investigation of Suddenlink's billing practices would certainly be recommended at this time. And a call center in West Virginia with associates that speak clear and understandable English.
There's another hearing this evening. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. A West Virginia basketball legend has passed. Levi Phillips died at his home in Charleston this morning at the age of 69. Phillips, who was a standout basketball player for Charleston High School and then went on to play for the Mountaineers, had suffered from a lengthy illness. He holds the distinction of scoring the first points in the history of the West Virginia University Coliseum during the opening game there in December of 1970. Levi Phillips, dead at 69. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Tony Finau defeated Cameron Smith yesterday in a one-hole playoff to win the Northern Trust in the FedEx Cup playoffs. Both golfers finished regulation at 20 under par, 2 shots better than world number 1 John Rahm, who was third at 18 under. The top 70 golfers of the FedEx Cup season-long standings will now compete at the BMW Championship at Caves Valley Golf Club in Maryland this weekend. In the Little League World Series yesterday, Michigan topped Texas 6-5, South Dakota shut out Oregon 3-0, Ohio got by Louisiana 8-2, Nebraska beat Washington 3-2. There are 2 games on schedule tonight. Texas plays New Jersey, New Hampshire against Oregon. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog.
Do you even remember the last time you changed your spark plugs? Well, then now's a good time. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase 4 or more select Iridium spark plugs. Put the pep back in your car. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Your loved ones facing a serious legal battle, the law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe or Talkline. I have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls on all the big stories affecting us in West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
And we're back for the final segment. I think Denny Magruder is still busy as they're celebrating his winning a major award. He beat out a lot of people around the country for what he does with the arena work and stuff. So he's a dedicated guy. I know he's very good to his employees because I have half of them on the talk show here. Yeah, you don't see people leaving Denny Magruder. He'll treat you real well. He just wants you to do your job. Sounds like Bill Belichick. Maybe he's the Bill Belichick of arena management. I don't know. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so as far as our sports lineup, it's interesting. High school sports line from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on both radio stations, WKKX and WVLY. And then it's the Cleveland Browns preview show. A lot of interest with the Brownies this year, especially since they beat the Steelers in that playoff game, right? WKKX preview show. I expect the Browns to win 11 or 12 games. Am I asking for too much? Well, they got a great defense. Their offensive line, I think it was ranked 4th or 5th in the NFL. So that's good. Yeah. I could be a Browns fan, you know. People say, well, don't you like the Steelers? Yeah, I like them. If they win, that's fine. If they lose, that's fine. I was not one of the many reporters that cheered when they won Super Bowls because I learned real early in my professional life in Boston, no cheering. I mean, it was nice that I was there to cover games that the Steelers won, but I didn't play the game. All right? Okay. Is that my man? Yep. Hello, you're on the air. Hello?
Hi, Bill. Hello, Bill.
Yeah.
How are you?
I've been better. I wasn't happy that I heard one of the Rolling Stones died.
Well, that's sad. That is sad. When these, icons pass away, it is sad.
Well, I'm seeing too much of this, so I'm getting old. I'm next. and I'm no icon.
I'll be 2 steps ahead of you, though.
Ah, you
But,
sound younger than me.
I'm older.
Okay, you sound young. What's on your mind?
Okay, last time I called you, I talked about Route 66. I don't know if you recall that conversation in California.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got a story about Lee Marvin, if you're interested in hearing this out.
Who? Lee
Because-
Marvin.
Yeah.
Lee Marvin. The man who shot Liberty Valance, Lee Marvin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Is this a short story or long story?
middle.
Okay.
If it's too long.
Go ahead.
If it's too long-
The microphone's yours.
Okay. If it's too long, tell me you need a break and I can call back later.
We have no more breaks.
Okay. In 1960, I remember after our conversation about Route 66, I was with the family and I was involved in an exhibition all-star game, Little League in 1960. And it was in Pittsburgh. It was going to be an early morning game on a Sunday. We're going in towards Fort Pitt tunnels, and I noticed a Route 66 van, like a semi. I told the family, I said, I bet Route 66 is going to be filmed in Pittsburgh. I saw a semi going through the tunnels, heading west. And they said, no, all Route 66 videos are taken out west, with the connection.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we played the Little League game, and it was over early before noon. And the family I was with decided, let's take them a little sightseeing trip, this friend of mine and I. And they took us up the incline. Got up to the incline, and we walked around a little bit. And I went by one restaurant, and who's standing there? Lee Marvin. And I went back and told the family I was with, and I said, no, that can't be. And I walked back again. He was gone. The gentleman was gone. And I saw one of the maybe bus boys or so. Was that Lee Marvin? They said, yes, it was. And I said, he looked kind of a little ragged around the edges. And another person involved nearby said, well, we heard that he was involved in falling down a flight of steps next to the restaurant.
Whoa.
All right, and he looked like he was maybe inebriated from the night before or whatever.
Yeah.
About a week ago, I went in ahead and dug, out of my curiosity, Lee Marvin involved in any episodes of Route 66. And YouTube came up with a video. And I'm watching the video closely. The main characters are Todd Stiles and Buzz Murdoch. And I'm looking at this fight scene that takes place outside of a restaurant, and I'm looking in the background. I said, that looks like Pittsburgh. I'm looking at the bridges. I said, that's a golf building behind it. I know it's Pittsburgh.
Wow. So it was filmed, the fight scene was filmed in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Wow, that's good stuff.
Yes. Well, the better part is, I went home about a week ago. I said, it got on my mind, and I'm looking if anybody researched it, any beat writers. And somebody did. And they said that he was bloodied up because Todd Stiles, who was one of the key actors, had unintentionally hit him, and he tumbled down the stairs outside, I think it was the Lamont restaurant.
I was just going to say, I'm familiar with those steps. It's a wonder he didn't roll down the hill.
Well, he rolled down the steps. They didn't use stuntmen. And he come up with a bloody nose, and the fight was over whatever role Lee Marvin was playing, over his wife.
Wow.
Okay? And then I did a little more research, seeing if anybody did write anything about it. And they said, well, when I talked to you last month about the Corvette, they did drive a 1960 Corvette.
It wasn't a 62?
No.
All right.
The first episode was in 1960, and thereafter, after the first episode showing, they drove a 61.
Oh, okay. I'd like to own just one of those.
Yeah. Now, they had a problem with the filming of the episode because I guess there were conditions going up from Carson Street to Mount Washington. So they're trying to figure out how we're going to shoot the scene. We've got to get the Corvette up there, and it's not possible to drive it up. So John Milner and George Maharis, the key role actors, got into their vet, and they put it on a ramp onto the Castle Shannon incline.
I know where that is. Boy, yep. I know where that is.
They put it on a ramp, and the incline took the vet with these actors sitting in their Corvette getting up to Mount Washington.
That's good stuff, yeah.
So I don't know, maybe some of your listeners might have some more input to that. And I thought that was pretty cool because I went to the next video that was available on the Pittsburgh episode, and it was a scene where George Maharis is standing up, looking back at the Fort tunnels and saying, "So long, Pittsburgh, waving goodbye to Pittsburgh."
Wow.
So I thought I'd share that with you.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. Yep, I'm familiar with that whole area. You know, when I
Yeah.
used to make a lot of money, I would go to all the restaurants up there. The Angel, Tin, what was it called? Tin Angel was a very popular restaurant. The Lamont, it was expensive, but the food was good. The atmosphere was good. But you know what you paid for? The view.
Yeah.
The view.
But in the early 70s, my favorite place was Forbes in Oakland. You know, being young in early 20s was a place called Bimbo's.
I remember Bimbo's, yeah. I remember the very first one and only Permane Brothers. It was a hole in the wall.
Was it in the Strip District?
Yeah, right next to the hot dog place, the Big O or whatever they called it.
The Big O, yeah. The Big
Which
O.
is now closed. Well,
Yeah.
whatever. Yep.
Then around the corner was the wooden keg.
Yep, wooden keg.
Sunny days. I used to go to Market Square with Walt Harper's Attic.
Yep. Walt
Harper
played at the Steeler games.
Yes.
You know, when they didn't have every Tom, Dick, and Harry singing all the time and all that, or high school bands, you enjoyed Walt Harper because he was a great performer. Okay, we're closing down here, so that's a great story.
All right, take care.
And it was a 60 Corvette, right?
Well, just for the first episode.
Oh, okay.
After that, it was 61.
Why'd they switch? Do you know? That's your research. You do a lot of research. That's
I
your
gotta-
assignment.
I'll work on it.
All right.
Take care.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was a 62. Well, everybody talked about the split window Corvette in 63. I didn't like it. What was so great about a split window? Yeah. But brand new, right out of the showroom, that 63 split window Corvette was like $3,600. Today, it's been a while since I researched this. I used to get the old Hemmings catalog, and the last time I saw the price for 1963 in good condition, not mint, good condition, it was about $60,000. So, yeah. Did you like the split window, Lola? You didn't like Corvettes, did you?
No, not particularly.
Yeah. Okay. I had two of them, and I had trouble.
I wanted power.
Yeah.
And you had to have weight to have power.
Yep. Okay. All right. But that's a good story about Lee Marvin, Pittsburgh. Yeah. For those of you that haven't had gone up to the restaurant, I mean, there's a couple of places where you just get a sandwich or whatever. You know, it is a little bit expensive, but you go up there for one or two reasons: good food, good atmosphere, and the view. Nothing like the view at night. You know, Pittsburgh lit up like a Christmas tree, especially if the Pirates are playing. You could check out all the empty seats. Or a Monday night game, you know. Park downstairs, you park along the railroad tracks, maybe go to Station Square. Then afterwards you go to up the top of the hill for a couple of brewskis because you're not going to beat the traffic. Spend some time, top of the mountain. Yeah, that's a great story. Well, there's been a lot of films, too, filmed in Pittsburgh. Why? Because it's reasonable. The one Batman with half of the Steelers in it, you know, now everybody goes to Canada because I guess it's cheaper to make a movie. Everybody used to go to New York or whatever. It's expensive there.
Canada's very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good, too.
Yep.
Studios and production companies.
Yep. I watched a movie the other day, filmed on location, Vancouver. Okay.
Well, and take any part of Canada, and it can be anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right, we have a few minutes, Lola. Page 4. Let's, since I started backwards, the chart toppers. 1959, when I was 8, I do remember number 2, Sea of Love by Phil Phillips. Okay. The number 1, yeah. 3 Bells. I know how it sounds. I didn't like it, you know. And I was listening to music out of my little radio, which I'm going to bring and show you, Lola. My little discount radio that I got for $2.99. I listened to all the sporting events and the one rock and roll stations. The 3 Bells was sung by the Browns. I wonder if they were from Cleveland.
1967, All You Need Is Love by the Beatles. All right. Listen to that because that's what we need now. A lot of love, less hate. The Monkees were number 2. Ugh. Pleasant Valley Sunday. Number 3 was pretty good because I liked Aretha Franklin. Baby, I Love You. And if you were a country bumpkin back then, the number 1 country hit on this date, August 24th, 1967, I'll Never Find Another You by Sonny James. Always thought he was a quarterback. Then I realized that was Sonny Jurgensen. 1975, number 2 was One of These Nights by the Eagles. You'll hear this at baseball games. Get Down Tonight, KC and the Sunshine Band. But number 1 was Falling in Love, Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds. I like the number 1 country tune, Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell. 1983 was cool too. Number 2 was Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, Eurythmics. And number 1, I could listen to it all the time, The Police, Every Breath You Take. That's true in the real life of a policeman and the bad guys. 1991, we got to mention it because I like Bryan Adams. Everything I do it for you. Okay? Let's see if there's any birthdays worth mentioning or anybody that's played for the Cleveland Indians, the Detroit Tigers. Oh, here's a good one. Pete Rose, baseball's all-time leader on the state in 1989, was out of baseball, banned for life. BFL, banned for life. He signed a 5-page agreement with A. Bartlett Giamatti, the commissioner of baseball, who charged that Rose, as a Cincinnati Reds manager, bet on baseball games. And I think if Mr. Giannotti would have still lived a few more years, he might have not suspended or, said, Pete, you've done some time, forget it. You're not going to spend time out of baseball. But as of right now, Pete Rose can't do anything about getting into Cooperstown. So until then, he'll set up shop in Cooperstown, the weekend home of the Hall of Fame, and sell autographs. One of my favorite musicals, Classical Gas. Dun 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 dun. Mason Williams. No lyrics, that's why probably I like the song. He was on the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, they must be relatives, 5 times. And he was on the Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour, which I watched, and okay, if Glenn's not going to sing, I don't want to hear his favorite people there, whatever. So, and we got one more birthday date, Lola. You got to guess how old this guy is. Most consecutive games played. Nobody will ever do this. He played with sore knees, sore ankles, sore thumbs. Today, a player has a sore thumb, they're out 6 weeks. Upper body injury. They don't make players like this one anymore. Calvin, Edwin, Ripken Jr., Rookie of the Year, 1982. World Series, 83. All-Star, 1983 through 1996. And he has a record for most consecutive games played. How old is Cal Ripken Jr. today, Lola, within 2 years?
48.
One more guess.
Higher?
Yes.
56.
61.
Wow.
That's hard to believe. Didn't he just retire?
Seems like it.
Maybe my addition subtraction is wrong. 2021, 1960. All right, that's 1. Yep, he's 61. Wow. I was surprised when I saw that today. Yeah, 61. Wow. I remember the day or the night, it was a ESPN Game of the Week, and after he got his hit, the players, it's a wonder he didn't get dumped on and passed out. They were all over him, and then he went all around the stadium in Baltimore. And it was fist pump. It was shaking hands, He passed one. I remember he passed one little kid, and he missed shaking hands when he went back, and, it was great to see. And we'll never, ever see anybody break that record. All right, as I mentioned, I think I'm going to try and get him on the talk show Thursday. The Wild Things did something that you don't normally see. A major league pitcher joining a team in the Frontier League. And his resume is pretty cool. Yeah, I can pronounce his name tonight if he's in uniform. All right, Rob Whalen. He has a whaling of a career sticking around in baseball. He's been everywhere. I think he'd be a cool guy to talk to about survival in professional baseball. He made his major league debut with Atlanta on August 3rd, 2016. He pitched 5 innings as a starter, and I mentioned this earlier, and I got a laugh out of it, my own. As a starter, he got the win 8-4 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. It was his only major league win, and it came against those Buccos. Yeah, were they bad in 2000? Yeah, they were bad.
They were bad. They were really bad. If you just joined us, don't forget tomorrow, we really started a lot of sports coverage here. You know, nobody does it better in the Valley as far as sports coverage than the people right here, all right? That begins with Howard in the morning, Hoppy and gang in Morgantown, Lola and yours truly here in the afternoon, and we have a lot of sports, and it starts right here with high school football, the high school sports line tomorrow from 7 to 9 p.m. on both radio stations. Then, Brown fans, get ready. Don't start counting those days to Super Bowl. You got to win about 11 or 12 games just to get in the playoffs. The Cleveland Browns preview show. I may as well mention Friday, although I'll give it a good mention on Thursday. Friday afternoon walkthrough from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. on both radio stations. And then we got two games. The team from Western Pennsylvania, Beaver County, the Bridgers of Ambridge will visit Coach Young's Central Catholic High School. That game is on WKKX at 7. And then on WVLY at 7, it's John Marshall versus University. And you can bet the mortgage that I have Kyle Wiggs on because he's familiar with both high school teams, Morgantown and University. I think he does the broadcast for one of them. And then after all of that, the fourth quarter scoreboard, 9:30. Metro News High School game night, 10 p.m. All right? I'm done. As Frank O'Brien said, and I'm going to try and listen to him, you want to be honey, not vinegar. You want to be soft and sweet, not sour, all right? I'm out of here. Lola, talk to you Thursday.
Though the bird is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600, WKKX, Wheeling.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best